TSN, Canada's sports leader.
Hi, I'm Colleen Jones. Watch us next on TSN.
It's a battle of world champions. BC's Kelley won it all last year in Glasgow after winning the 2000 Scott in Prince George. Law was the early leader in Regina after opening with 3 straight victories. Since then, she's lost 2 of her last 3. Nova Scotia's Colleen Jones, the reigning Scott and world champion after winning the world in Lausanne this spring. Jones is 4-2 and coming off a decisive win over Sherry Maddaw yesterday. Another crisp December morning in Saskatchewan as we get set for day 5 at the Canadian Curling Trials. Just 3 draws left for the women, 2 on today's schedule. 2 wins for the contenders today puts them in great shape. Good morning again, everyone. Welcome back to the Agrodome in Regina. I'm John Wells along with Guy Hemmings and Kathy Gauthier. 2 4-2 teams who were among the favorites when this competition got underway are in our feature match today. It's Colleen Jones and Kelley Law, and very few weaknesses on either team, Kathy.
That's a fact. When you win the World Championship and the Canadians, as these 2 women have done and dominated women's curling in the last 2 years, you expect strengths. But I think a key matchup this morning will be at the lead position. Diane Nelson, far and away the best lead in the field, 92% +5. That's huge numbers. That means in every time that she plays, she's outscoring her opponent. Nancy Delahunt, a good player, but tied for 6th amongst leads. The key stat there is that even, so sometimes she outshoots her opponent, sometimes she doesn't. That means all the way up the line, an impact is felt. 2 great teams, though. Guy, your thoughts?
Yeah, you mentioned it, Gaddy. Like there are two Canadian champion and world champion. Kelley Law's winning it in 2000. Colleen Jones winning last year in 2001. It's going to be a really tight matchup. But what I like to look at it is the matchup between each other over the last few years. Like a 3-2 record for Colleen Jones, a slight edge, but it was a big one last year at the final of the Scott when she won that Canadian championship on a tight measure. So good for her. It's going to be a good matchup today.
7th draw in women's competition coming up. We've got Colleen Jones, we've got Kelley Law. It's the Canadian Curling Trials live from Regina.
The 2001 Canadian Curling Trials on TSN are brought to you by the all-new 2002 Toyota RAV4. You belong outside.
And here are the standings after 6 draws in Regina. Sherry Anderson with 5 straight wins leads the pack at 5-1. 4 are tied for second. Heather Fowley, Colleen Jones, Kelley Law, Michelle Ridgway. Sherry Maddaw is hanging in at 3-3, and it's a long way back for Fraser King and Holland. The 2001 Canadian Curling Trials from the Agrodome. By Saturday, we'll know the women's team that will carry Canada's colors in Salt Lake City. Here are the morning matchups on Sheet A. Kathy King against Marie-France LaRouche. Right next door, back-to-back world champions, Kelley Law, Colleen Jones in our feature game this morning. On Sheet C, 2 Saskatchewan teams. Sherry Anderson with 5 straight victories takes on Regina's Amber Holland, and Sherry Fraser goes against Sherry Maddaw. Michelle Ridgway has been hot lately and takes on Heather Fowley, who has been hot too. These 2 teams have identical records as well. Ice at the Agrodome has been quick and true all week long. Let's check it out.
We've talked about it before, John. These ice conditions are at their optimum first thing in the morning. 4 to 4.5 feet, even a little bit more around the center guards. When you go to the wings around corner guards, either the intern or the outturn side, 4 feet with the big finish right at the end. Only in the wings is it a little straighter. No frost, though. 3 feet of movement, making all the shots possible. What's tricky, and we've seen it build up over the week, are the red zones. Those are the 4-foot lines that run down the ice. Your ability to understand and not overthrow so that they'll back up like this is key. Here's the other red zone you want to control today, folks. It's the 4-foot. You do that, you control the game.
All right, Kathy, time to meet the teams, and these are familiar faces to Canadian curling fans from coast to coast. It's Law versus Jones. Guy?
Well, like two really strong teams. Kathy mentioned like probably the best two front end in this field this week, and so we'll have to watch off the back end a bit. See Julia was going to react against Kelley, but I really think this morning's going to be a battle of a skip. Which skip's going to make with a big shot? Come with a big shot to make her team win.
And both are capable of that. Colleen Jones will throw Yellowstones and has the hammer to begin this. Kelley Law lost yesterday to Amber Holland 9-7. Colleen Jones comes into this after an 8-5 or an 8-2 victory over Sherry Maddaw. Diane Nelson 92% and leads all skips in the field here in Regina this week.
She's just really, really playing well. Diane's always been a great player, but certainly this week turning it on. The worst game she had, the worst, was 87%. Huge numbers, and she makes a tremendous contribution sweeping as well.
Law puts the first stone right in the house.
Yeah, we've noticed in the game earlier the week that Kelley Law liked to keep it simple for the first few hands, and there's no change here this morning. She asked for first stone in the house.
This is a dramatic shift from earlier in this year. We've seen Kelley play a lot this year. Earlier in the Bonspiel circuit, Kelley and her squad took it to teams early. They got burnt quite a few times. Her team just really wasn't prepared to make those big shots that you have to make early on if you go hard. They had a little bit of a strategy session with Coach Gene Friesen, and they've changed. Here's what we're looking at today, hog to hog, same as all week, really quick. 14, really closer to 14.5, almost 15 in the early goings. That's 16 for a guard. You're not throwing hard. 9 and 11 seconds, 9 for the hit and 11 for hack. Those are quick times. We got quick ice.
Second stone for Kelley Law's lead, Diane Nelson. And pushes the Jones rock to the outside behind the tee line.
If you time from hog to stop, you can see that that's about 24, almost 25 seconds. The back to tee not used as much this week. That's almost a 28. What we will hear a lot is that 375, almost 4 number from the teams. That's the guide they use from the back line to the hog line. It is the tool that the sweepers use to give them an extra guide other than just their eyes to judge sweeping of a stone.
Big miss here by Diane Nelson. She just missed a takeout to give a chance to Colleen's team to then still to split the house right from the start and go for a chance or 2 here right in the first end.
Great shot by Nancy.
So Jones with 2 Yellowstones into the rings. Not much of a decision here for Kelley Law. Georgina Wheatcroft.
You mentioned that Colleen has last rock. That's predetermined. Because it's an uneven number of teams in the field. The teams have a shootout skills competition for draw weight earlier on, and the winner of that gets last rock in the additional game. Otherwise, for the remainder of the games, the remaining 8, it's split equally. They have 4 times when they have last rock and 4 times when they don't.
What's interesting is it's a 9-team or a 9-game round robin. You play everybody in the field, and that's 2 games less than you have at the Scott Tournament of Hearts, and it's a situation where you're trying to make the playoffs, and just 3 rinks will be around for the playoffs when it's over.
Yeah, 2 game less makes every loss more important. You know, like every loss you suffer is more costly than another Scott out of bar.
And when you couple that with the fact that you don't have a 4th team making it into the playoffs, it makes, as you say, Guy, every game just that much more critical. And that's, if you watch the players' face today that we'll show you throughout the draw, you can absolutely feel the tension.
2 draws for the women today.
Couple miscues this morning. We saw that miss earlier by Diane, and a rollout just there means Georgina's been able to balance this out, and we're back to one rock.
I like that.
Yeah, Marianne Way tried to hit and stick in the house, rolled closer to the center line. She hit on the wrong side of the rock, rolled out. Give a chance to Kelley and her team to bring back that situation where she wants to be, like facing only one stone at a time in the house.
Marianne Way, her second stone. Number 1 among the seconds. Curling 85%.
Yep, hard. Hurry. Hurry, hurry.
We mentioned earlier that Kelley liked to play, I would say, a more simple game early on in the game, but Colleen is not upset with that. Like, she liked to keep it simple herself, basically the whole game long. So I guess she wasn't too upset when Kelley asked for her first lead to put a rock in the house. That's the style of play she liked to play.
Down to third rocks. Here's Julie Skinner for Kelley Law.
Colleen known for a very defensive style of play. If people have a criticism of Colleen, it is usually that. Although we've seen over the last 5 years, it has worked very well for her. And also that she can make the big shots and the finesse shots when she needs to.
Saying that, that's bringing me a question for you, Kathy. Like, we know it, everybody knows it, that Colleen's like to keep it more defensive. If you're Kelley Law, would you try to force to play a bit more? Try to force her into a more fancy shot? Or?
I think that Kelley will absolutely do that, Guy, but I think that, you know, for Kelley, it always seems that it's around the third end that's her comfort zone to go, and so their game plan is always that. I think Kelley will wait until then, and then I think she will very much try to force the issue, particularly given she doesn't have last rock. She needs something to go.
After 2 early misses, 1 for each team, just 1 rock is in the house. Julie Skinner's second for Kelley Law.
Clean, just clean. Rolls out there.
Tied for first,
Clean it.
1/3 in Regina this week.
Clean. Okay, nice throw, Julie. Nice throw.
We saw that shot, like how the red rock, ride the red line easy. No, it's still get tough to get off that red line, so they're going to be really, really careful with that line.
Okay. Got a long way to come.
Third for Colleen Jones, Kim Kelley.
See a little difference with Colleen's team if you haven't watched them over the years. Kim Kelley throws third, played second for Colleen for many years and was all-star several times at that position. Moved up to play third, but the decision was that Nancy Delahunt had maybe better eyes in the house, lined up angles better, and so this team chose to have Kim, who's a fabulous sweeper, sweep the skip stones, and Nancy from the lead position always will hold the broom in the house and call line for Colleen. Those are things you're able to do as long as you do it consistently. You can choose who you wish to hold the broom in the house for the skip. Colleen's comfort clearly with Nancy.
Yeah, she depended quite a bit on her. Like, we've seen even some spiel. We saw Nancy call all the game, and Colleen sweeping a few stones.
Clean. Yep.
Down to skips rocks here in the opening end.
Whoa. Good shot.
Kelley Law's
Good shot, Kelley.
first shot.
That's something that many skip could do, sweeping a few stones. They could injure themselves. It's really dangerous.
Far, oh, it's dangerous to sweep.
We could slip on the ice. We could turn a moss on the shoulder or anything like that. You got to be really careful. It's tough sport.
I have so much work to do with you in such little time.
I think maybe you should wear pads in case you do fall.
Yeah, sometimes I wear a hockey helmet just to protect you.
Maybe a flak jacket. What do you think?
I'll turn hit for Colleen.
A long game.
Probably our favorite shot ever in curling.
For Colleen, this, if she has a chance to make a shot. We saw that in the Canadian final last year. There were a couple of options. She could have played the draw. She played the hit and roll. That was the shot that they measured for the win. There's no doubt this is Colleen's favorite shot, and a shot that she's very good at.
Only. Whoa. Clean. Clean. Whoa. Good.
And there's proof right there. So 2 rocks to come in the opening end. Kelley Law versus Colleen Jones.
Good, Colleen.
Jones, a 3-time Scott Tournament of Hearts winner. and one-time world champion.
But she has won it all, hasn't she? She's won the mixed. She's won the juniors.
Well, she's played in 15 national women's championships. She goes back to the days of the Lassie.
Clean.
She does.
Just clean.
Tremendous skill set.
Clean. Yep. Yep.
I had the privilege to play my first game at the national level against Colleen.
Hurry.
1993, we played a mix in the Swift Current, Saskatchewan. And the first game we played was against Colleen and her husband.
Scott.
Come up a lot, but
So how did you do, Guy?
I don't want to take any more ice.
Could we change subject?
You brought it up. But I think we know the answer now.
I didn't fail, it didn't torn any muscle, let's put it that way.
Didn't get hurt.
This lady has won it all.
I think this is going to move all the way, but I don't want to take any more ice.
Interesting, though, to look back to Colleen's first win at the Scott. It was here.
Because I'm afraid that I'll get on a spot
1982.
in that 12-foot where it'll go a little straighter.
Strength to blank here, hit. There's red stone in the house and roll out to keep the advantage of the hammer. You saw the difference,
God,
like
I'm having a hard
Kelley
time seeing
hit
that
from
broom.
an intern and
Yeah.
Colleen's go back to her alternate takeout.
Yeah.
It's a good way to blank. We talked about that in reading the ice, that the outside in is the straightest spot. It doesn't fall back. She's off the 4-foot lines, will run very straight.
Yep.
Final stone of the first end. Nova Scotia's Colleen Jones. They haven't had many rocks in play at all.
Well, we had a
Jones
chance,
looks
but it curled over.
for the blank
One yellow.
and
Yeah.
doesn't quite get it. So Colleen Jones
Thought we did. If it was
forced to take one in the opening end. Kelley Law will have the hammer
Lovely throw.
for end
Yeah,
number 2.
I know, I knew
Colleen
it
not
was-
happy about that.
You wouldn't want to take more.
No, I would.
Good morning again from Regina. Here's our first updates of the day. Sherry Anderson, Amber Holland. Anderson has won 5 in a row. Holland lying 1, and here's an opportunity for a free draw and 2 points. Holland has come on later in the week. Anderson has been playing well since an opening round loss. Here's Amber Holland's opportunity, and she takes full advantage. A draw for 2 and a 2-0 advantage on Sherry Anderson, who's atop the leaderboard. On sheet A, Kathy King, Marie-France LaRouche, and LaRouche gets 1 in the opening end. Our feature game, Colleen Jones forced to take 1 against Kelley Law. We showed you the highlight there, the 2 points for Holland. Madame scores first with the hammer, and Ridgway and Fowley. That one is blanked by Ridgway. Fowley has been playing very, very well in recent games.
That's a key matchup on sheet E. Well, both teams are 4-2 right now, so
Same. Yep.
Much like we're watching in the feature match here this morning, 4-2. Winner goes to 5-2. It feels pretty good about the opportunity to be around for at least tiebreaker.
Shot die. That's the same way.
However, 3 draws to go as of this morning, counting this one.
yeah, we still believe that 3 loss will still be at least good enough for a tiebreaker, but at this point you want to go
4,
for a
5,
better
4,
spot
6
in the
even.
tiebreaker. If you have a chance to be in first or second spot, or even all by yourself in third place, is better than being a tiebreaker.
First place team will get a bye into the final.
Chance for Marianne Wade to get around that guard. Colleen not wanting to take the point last end, but did so by sticking that blank attempt.
Hurry.
Will not hesitate to chase.
Quick. Hurry, hurry, hurry.
Rushing hard.
Can they get it around?
Great shot, Marianne.
There you go, Marianne Wade.
Nice one, Marianne.
There's that fabulous finish and movement that we've talked about in the ice. It just goes so nice. And there's the 2 great ice makers here. Hans Withrick on your right as you look at the screen, and BJ Gagnon on your left. 2 fabulous guys that have added so much to this sport and made everything possible.
Very few complaints about the ice, except by teams that were having a particularly bad draw.
You started to understand that. You did a pretty good job.
Yeah. Well, Sometimes you have to blame something or somebody, but
got back line.
in reality, everybody has found it very true here at the Agrodome in Regina.
The more you play this game, you learn that it's all right to miss shot as long as you get a good excuse for it.
Could see that rock really finished hard. Just kept curling across the line.
Were you just tight? No. No? Because it looked like you got over there quickly.
So for Colleen, because that stone is open, a chance to remove it. Would like to stick around.
Marianne Way for Colleen Jones. Hammer belongs to Kelley Law here in 2.
Great shot.
And that red stone is erased.
It's a good shot. She drilled just enough to make sure she don't give a chance for a double for Regina. So she got to go after a shot rock.
Georgina Wheatcroft was not pleased with her first stone in this end.
Heard Julie ask her if she was narrow on the first one. She said no. She may have got this one going a little bit. They held it straight for her, though.
There you go.
See, I thought she was tight in her first one myself.
Not tight on that one. So the shot stone belongs to Kelley Law.
Georgina's a good hitter, Caddy. She likes to hit. Her numbers are really good. She got 86% so far in this championship on the hit.
Very strong second.
Third stones. Kim Kelley for Jones.
Nicely done.
Wide open, however.
There's 2 choices here for Kelley. She could try to hit, like she's indicating, try to hit and roll behind the center guard to put herself in a good position to get her 2, or she could have go for the double and try to eliminate those 2 yellow in the house. But she feels a chance to get her deuce here by hitting and roll behind the center guard. That's what she's trying.
Whoa, guys.
Julie's wins coming in 3rd for Kelley Law and is a skip herself in 1991, a year that she would go on to lose the World Final.
Skinner looking for the hits and a little bit of a roll, which didn't happen. You might as well have tried the double, I guess, at that point, right? If you don't make the roll.
Yeah, maybe, but you can't questionable the call. Like the call was to go behind. You can't say, okay, if I miss, I should have done that. You might have tried to double and miss it, and you can't say after I should have tried to roll behind.
I thought there was second guessing allowed in this game.
It is.
Good, Kim.
Kim Kelley makes her shot. Nice little roll there. Little cover on the shot stone belonging to Colleen Jones.
If they get the double, that's fine. Kelley with last rock, not as worried about it as she would be if she didn't. For her, the bigger objective here is to roll behind the guard.
Yes. Hard.
Right from the start.
Hurry. Whoa. 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 Hang on that line.
It's the lines we've talked about.
Nelson and Wheatcroft come off the brooms and let it carry most of the way.
It was a bit tight, but it hung on that line. Okay.
Over on sheet E, Heather Fowley, yellow stones. Counting 2. The hammer belongs to Michelle Ridgway. Both teams are 4-2. Critical game, as we've mentioned this morning already over there on sheet E.
Nicely done.
Ridgway takes 1 in the second for a 1-0 lead.
Back in our feature game, Colleen, you can see his shot in the 8-foot.
Okay.
Asking now to get around that guard, wants to lie 2, would really, really like to force Kelley to have to take her 1. Just talking to her team, conversing about what draw weight might be.
Line's fine. Line's great. Yep. Yep, line. Yes.
Skips rocks, and the first belongs to Colleen Jones in the second end.
One hard. First it'll go. Hurry, hurry, hurry.
Watch that rock just hook.
Every bit.
Working this one all the way. They get it around out front.
Nice shot, Colleen. Guys. Great sweep.
Good for second shot as well. That was the key.
Nice shot.
We hit it about here.
Should I like to go a bit deeper to prevent a chance from Kelley to get that double now. I think Kelley could see just enough of that stone to try that 10 double and get rid of the 2 yellow. I think Colleen was really trying to go a bit deeper than the other yellow to not give a chance to do that takeout.
Hey.
It's not an easy shot.
No, it's a tough one, isn't it?
It's a 10 double. They're never easy. Tough to call for the guy, the guy or the girl in the house.
Quarter to a third. Okay.
But still, if Colleen is able to put it a bit deeper, that yellow stone top of the house a bit deeper, that would prevent from that chance.
Take away the double.
Yeah.
Kelley Law began the week with 3
Whoa!
straight wins.
Whoa, guys. Whoa.
Close.
Whoa.
Oh! Yep.
Yeah!
Hurry! Whoa!
They've got lots on this. Kelley Law's first stone, second end. Causes movement. Shooter is gone, and both yellow stones trickle out as well. But the shooter
A little less.
is gone, and they would have liked that to hang around.
Yeah, really good shot. Just over curl on her a bit at the end. You could hear both the one on and off, and I think Kelley was calling for the sweeping, and Julie say off and just over curl on her. She had to roll out, but it's still a good shot.
Just a little thinner. It ricochets thinner, which means that it hits that other stone right on the nose and sticks right there.
Hey, if she rolls off, do you want to try that split? What do you think? So. It's close there, eh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
From the beak.
Great year for Colleen Jones in 2001, winning the Scott and then the World Championships, or the World Championship, I should say. In her third appearance at the Worlds, Colleen won at last, and that was a great season.
Whoa! Clean.
Jones' final stone
Nice throw, Colleen.
in the second end.
And important to stick. You heard the conversation between Julie and Kelley that if she had rolled out, one of the things they might have tried was the split on that redstone. It would be a tough split. It's not as close as Julie made us think it was.
No, it's not when you look from this view, is it?
That was not what we call a gimme split, but
Some huge opportunities for Kelley as well. Of course, winning the Worlds, was back here as a semi-finalist in 1997. Many people forget that. Those Scott appearances, the other times that she did not skip, she played third.
In 2000, that was the BC sweep at the Worlds.
Indeed it was.
Greg Kelley won the men's title.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Clean. Yep.
Yep. Yep.
Final stone for Kelley Law.
Shot, Kelley.
Looking for a blank in 2. And she'll get it to retain the hammer.
Blank.
Wait for what?
Colleen Jones continues to lead, but Kelley Law has the hammer as we head to the third end here at the Canadian Curling Trials in Regina. Welcome back. It's time for another update as we go to the center sheet here. Anderson versus Holland, with Holland in the lead. Final stone coming for Sherry Anderson, who's looking to make it 6 wins in a row.
If she got this on the nose, John, she would have scored 2. You can see how tight it stays that line.
Well, too close to call. They had to measure there, and the Red Rock prevailed for a 2-1 score there. Sherry Madda off to a hot start. Got 1 in 1 and stole 3 in the second end against Sherry Fraser. Key game for Madda coming in. Her record is 3-3, so there's still hope. 3 losses. Win 3 in a row, and you're right there, right?
there's a lot of hope, but she just can't afford to lose many more.
It's a 4. Doesn't look like it has much though, does it?
It's hard, guys.
She's turning her intern.
Colleen going right in the house. Kelley wanting to generate some offense. Get the corner guard game going.
No.
A little bit of work to
job,
get
guys.
that one across the line. There's a skip sweeping right there, Guy.
How about the outturn?
My name is Nancy Delahunt. I live in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and I'm a full-time mother to 2 children, Jane aged 9 and Kevin aged 7.
A little tight on line.
Yeah, there was good sweeping. Over curl on her a bit. She's still a good corner guard, but she would have liked a bit closer to the center of the house.
Right up. Yep.
Nancy
Okay, whoa. Yes,
Delahunt,
yes.
born in Montreal.
Yeah.
Living in Halifax with the Jones
Okay, good. Whoa.
squad, obviously, out of the
now,
Mayfair Curling Club.
Hi, I'm Diane Nelson from Pitt Meadows, BC, and I'm an insurance broker with Coronation Insurance.
Second stone for Diane Nelson. In the third.
Those type of shots are the shots that the lead could make a difference in the game. Like we talk about
Gotta
the
go.
numbers for Diane here. She really needs to put a quarter freeze or come on top of this Yellowstone to change the hand around.
It's to it. Okay.
Nice shot.
Shot.
It's a good shot.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice.
Dive it, didn't it? Surprised. Good shot, Di. Actually, we can see a bit on that side. I got 69.
Hi, I'm Marianne Way from Halifax, Nova Scotia, and I'm a massage therapist at the Advanced Wellness Center.
Wait, okay. Need a little help. No room. Wait for it. Wait for it if you can. Can you wait?
Both of these skips have
Okay,
had
keep
some
coming.
chances
Yep,
to play the
12 foot.
foreguard under these
12 foot in the great
highly
line now.
stressful conditions at World Championships. Both
Great line,
teams
narrow
winning
way.
in the last couple years. That should make for a much more comfortable aggressive game because they certainly understand the rule, maybe more so than the other teams out here that haven't had the access to the rule.
Yeah, they've had some experience with the
Like
4-rock
this?
rule at the Worlds.
That's the top part. Can't see that one. Yeah, it curls pretty good though. Board. Board? Board, that's a lot of ice.
Hi, I'm Georgina Wheatcroft from Cloverdale, BC, and I work for RBC Financial Group.
Yes!
Wheatcroft's delivery.
Hard! Whoa, roll it up.
On it most of the way, and they won't get around
Okay.
the long Yellowstone.
Interesting comment here. We heard Georgina talk about having lots of ice in the hack, and she might have been influenced in it, trying to cut the ice a bit by herself.
Let's take a look at it, Guy. Comes out, you can see that's not a positive release at all by Georgina. She's calling before she lets go. We like to see people throw the rock, not let the rock come out of your hand. When it does that,
we're
its
right on the
motion
other
is
one.
already curling, and that's why
Just gonna-
she's sticked
what?
on the guard.
We're right to the other one.
Yeah, my point is, like, shitting on a hack, you should,
Bumping a bit, maybe.
before starting to throw the stone, you should be confident about it.
I want to stop. It's coming, it's bumping. Okay. Okay.
They'll be happy enough with that. Protecting the shot rock belonging to Jones.
Hey, George. Right at it. Whoa! Yeah! Whoa! Close!
Watch behind this delivery from Wheatcroft.
Good shot, George.
Gets the pair.
Yes, nicely played.
Good shot.
The race is 2. The Yellowstones belonging to Colleen Jones out front.
Yeah, that makes up for the first rock. Nice double, stick in front of the house.
She hits this perfectly. If she's going to hit the pair of them, she's going to leave her shooter there. But at least she removes those 2 yellow stones.
Much more confidence than her first shot of the end.
Hi, I'm Kim Kelley from Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, and I enjoy being the mother of Brett and Madison.
Kim's a pharmacist at the Queen Elizabeth Health Sciences Center out there.
Yeah, there's a pretty
Let it
helpful team.
longer.
Kathleen,
Let it curl. It's high.
Massage
Okay, keep coming.
Catherine.
Catherine. We only worked
massage
together for
therapist,
2
a
years.
pharmacist.
Hurry, hurry, more curl, more curl. Hard
And your
away,
wife's name
hard.
is?
Hurry, hurry,
My
hurry,
wife's
hurry,
name?
hurry.
Well, if you haven't got my
Nice
name
shot.
right, 2
Blithy.
years. There
Blind,
you go.
actually.
All right. So it's maybe it's a little Alzheimer's kicking in there, Wellesley.
Yeah. I got half a rock.
I'm sorry, what was your point?
My point was that this was a helpful team. That's all.
Just less than
With the
half.
therapist and the pharmacist.
How about hack?
Gotta move this. I like board.
Board? Okay. Just board, guys.
Hi, I'm Julie Skinner from Victoria, BC, and I'm the travel manager at BCAA.
There's a small hole there. A chance for Kelley to get that stone belonging to Colleen Jones off of the forefoot.
Hurry! Whoa!
Final rock, third end belongs to Kelley Law's team.
Whoa!
First down for third. Julie Skinner through there.
Hurry, hurry!
Tap.
It's a good shot. Yes. Like you said, Kathy, there was not a big room there to get between those two stones. She made it perfectly. She would have liked to stick in the house, but now she's staying.
One more inch and we got it
Shot
sweet.
rock, buried.
I'm staying and everything.
She called that right, but when you're playing it through a
I was
tight
by
hole,
this much.
want
I
it
got
to
by
be sure.
one. That's fine. It's fine. We're in there.
It's a great shot. It's in the top of the forefoot. It's covered, and so all of a sudden now, for the first time this end, Colleen Jones with her third Kim Kelley needs to get a rock in there. Last rock belongs to Kelley Law.
Yep. Yep. On good now. Yep. Hurry. Hard. Okay. Hurry. Hard. Hold on. Hard, hard, hard. Okay.
Kelley get it around. No, she
Just
there's a little rub off the red guard.
Just a bit
Can
light.
I get through there?
But it's not a waste shot, though. She's got the yellow stones in front of the
Like
house.
this?
Could be used later.
Promotable.
Why don't we go around
Yep.
it?
As you could
I
see,
really like that one there. I know.
Kelley's
I can't
afraid of
see
that
hole.
stone.
That
She's
looks like a
thinking
big
about
hole to
hitting
get
it.
through.
You know, Colleen's going to play. It's her way to get to
I
the
like
forefoot.
going around it. Or
Kelley's
the wide
worried.
out turn. Just hit
I don't
that.
like this.
Okay.
We await Julie Skinner's second shot for
Wanna wait
Kelley
to
Law.
hold him? I might be able to come in off the back of that. Can I?
I think this is a real good call. Julie's talking about maybe going around it. The reason Colleen wanted them to bump and roll right away in the open is because that's the shot. Without last rock, she's going to play.
Whoa.
Even if she doesn't tap it up for shot, she
Whoa.
can make it very fast.
Yes!
She got to score two.
Whoa! Yes! Yes!
Back on it.
Yes!
Julie Skinner's final stone. Third end.
Shot.
Nicely done.
And it's right there, driving the Jones
Good.
rock
Keep it straight.
out of
Yep.
that frightening position for Kelley Law, even with the hammer here. So Law's looking pretty good.
Nice shot.
Thanks.
And your first one was great, too.
Need to curl another inch, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Who cares?
That was pretty good.
It's in there, man.
Yeah. No,
Here's
that's
good, too. Doesn't have to be
That's a
shot.
sweet one.
Shot's a bonus.
Might be able to use that, eh?
I don't even mind top 8 here. I mean, if we get shot, that's fine, but
And once again, here the key situation is not to be too long. You know, you can afford to be behind the tee line to give a chance to Kelley on her next shot to just sit on the Yellowstone. She's got to be in front of the house, even if she's just top 8, as she said.
but that run back
That's going to be a
looks
good
nice,
spot.
though, doesn't it?
Down to Skip's
What do you
rocks.
think? I like them both. Hi, I'm Colleen Jones from Halifax, Nova Scotia, and I work at CBC Morning News doing weather and sports, and I have two wonderful sons. Zach is 15 and Luke is 8, and I've got my dog Bruno, 2 cats, and still 5 fish.
Yes,
5
for
fish is
line
very
two,
important
yep.
that we know that.
Line,
I'm sure.
yep. Hard line, hard.
We don't have names.
Hurry, girls, hard.
They ran out of tape. They can
Not
only
enough
go
time
so
to name
far.
them all. And she
Pretty good
misses
weight,
this. Had the weight. She felt.
Huh? It is swooping, yeah, but that was probably only bite the 8.
Well, some opportunities for Kelley Law here.
Yeah, I think the weight was good. It just overcurled on her. I don't think she was
you
tight
got
from the
out of
start.
that room, too. Yeah.
Curled more than she expected.
Law with the hammer.
Yeah.
And then go here. Okay.
Going
Thinking
pretty
there.
good, eh?
Just a hair more, maybe? Well, where did Colleen have? She had way out here. Think about the hair?
Should be good.
Yep.
Couple of options here for Kelley. She could try to go around the corner, try to bump this one.
Here's good. Here's good.
Just bump.
She hangs out.
No, I don't, because we could put it in the wrong spot.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's good about
This is
that
good,
shot?
and then my
She
shooter just
promote
goes like
that
that.
redstone second shot in the house. She could still roll and block the hole, leaving
So 4.5, right?
Colleen no much shot beside the race take out on the side.
Hi, I'm Kelley Law from Coquitlam, BC, and I'm a mother to Christopher and Cameron.
Line's good.
Kelley Law's first shot
Yes for love.
Hard!
in the third end.
Room.
Hurry, it's gonna go.
Room.
Not a lot of weight.
Hurry then. Hard.
Hard!
Looking to set up
Hurry,
at least two
Brian!
with her first stall.
Harder.
Hard! Oh, shoot.
Okay.
Damn.
Good line, just not the weight that she needed to promote that stone farther up, but she did kind of close the hole a little bit.
The other one first. Yeah.
It's a narrow report now to get through the hole, so not as good as you wish you would do the shot. But
straight back.
What's straight back?
Well,
Nan?
not straight back, but you know, you could play any weight on that.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
Wait.
May not have bumped it, but
No.
that's okay. I like the angle on it anyway.
That's good angle. Does it look like this is here? Okay.
It's two choices here. She could try to raise the yellow that we see in front of the house on the red to kill this red, and try to lie two, or she could decide just to try to go to the hole or bump the yellow to be shot rock.
That's the
what
better shot.
I think it's a better option, because even if you don't make it perfectly, you just get a smaller target for Kelley's last shot.
And the Yellowstone belonging to Jones at the back of the house.
I heard Nancy looking at that straight back. Colleen clearly not comfortable with that. This is where we really see Colleen's confidence has grown over the years to play a variety of shots.
I like where my
Crowded
rock
house
is by
at
that yellow
Sheedy,
rock is
Ridgeway,
right
and
now.
Fowley over there.
Real tough.
Fowley has the final stone. It doesn't like the way things are setting up over there, so she'll throw this away and count whatever she can already. Works out well. Two for Heather Fowley.
Yep. Whoa, whoa, you're on the yellow. Whoa, it's real close.
Trying to scoot through the hole now.
Yeah. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Looking to promote the yellow stone. They missed that shot.
Shot good weight.
She had great weight for that shot.
Good shot.
That'll be tough for Law to get her deuce.
It's a good option plan. Usually when you throw close to the right weight,
Almost quick so that it
just got that thin wick. You saw it come off. Here's the path for Kelley. She's got some room to get in there. Chance for 2.
4.5, George?
That hole's a little wider now, and she's also seeing the exact path she needs. This is the same spot Colleen threw.
4. 4.25.
It's still a tough shot, because the way the rocks are curling on draw weight especially, it's going to be tough to get off.
Okay.
Passing by the yellow, which guarding the house without touching the yellow, was on top eight of the house, but because of the swing, it's not going to be easy. She might get it like just rubbing this yellow and rolling the 4 foot for you too.
For Kelley Law, last rock, third end.
Great.
Opportunity for 2, but she needs to make a fine shot here
Let it bend.
to get the deuce.
Well, it's on the guard.
Line's good.
Let it bend.
Line's really good. Whoa, that. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, just a little heavy. Okay, Kelley.
A little too much, it would appear.
One. Yeah, one.
Red Rocks settle for 1. That's what Colleen Jones did in the opening end. Picked up 1, so we're all even. Heading to the 4th here at the Canadian Curling Trials. It's Law versus Jones.
Yeah.
Back in Regina, continuing to cover all the action on 5 sheets here. It's Fraser Madoff in the third end. Good start for Sherry Madda, and here's a chance for Sherry Fraser with the Red Stones.
Hurry! Hurry!
Her last rock.
Hurry!
Chance for a couple.
You should tap the red and the yellow.
Tap, tap. There you go. 2, 4-2 there.
That's an easy game, is it?
It is an easy game, Guy. Over on sheet A, it's Kathy King hitting Marie-France LaRouche. Our game, we just showed you the final point there. Lon Jones even at 1. Holland has 2 to take the lead on Anderson. And there's the updated scoreboard there. Ridgway and Fowley in a key match over there. Both teams at 4 and 2. Winner moves very close to the top of the pack. 5 and 2, depending on the other games here today.
Okay. Oh, damn. We should let that one go.
You're enjoying our match this morning. Geet, this is
so far
nice
it's been
curling,
really good. Yeah, a couple of surprising miss by the front end. Once again, we saw Diane Nelson just touched this guard, tried to hit this open stone in the house. It touched the guard, didn't touch it enough to remove it out of play, which still give Colleen Jones some type of a corner guard. But
we talked about the key matchup. This lady right here, Nancy Delahunt, going into this end at 20% advantage over Diane Nelson, shooting 96% to Diane's 79. So it has been a key matchup so far, with Nova Scotia's Nancy Delahunt winning that battle so far with great shot making like this.
That's a good one.
Colleen, of course, has last rock back, so now lies 2, one of them behind a guard. After her lead is shot, she's in great shape.
This is a funny game, you know, like you have a good shot like that, but you lead and sets up the hand very good. So Kelley now needs a couple of good shots just to get out of trouble.
But, working this one all the way. Big time weights.
Shot. Okay.
And it will hang around in the 12. The shooter.
Shot.
Not a bad shot. She just rolled too much. She tried to stay behind those 2 guards.
Colleen takes a look. From our perspective, it looks as though that stone belonging to Kelley Law is shot.
What do you think, John? You're the master.
I would say red is shot. Was I right once yesterday on the overview? I had one earlier in the week, but I wasn't right yesterday. I don't believe.
It was 4 days ago.
Listen, talk about pressure. Guy's going to the airport tonight.
Yes.
And you may have to take an old picture of you so your wife recognizes you when you pick her up with that clean shave now.
Watch your feet, Kim.
Hard, 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 no roll. Good shot.
Colleen wanted to stay out there. Rolls to the center.
He seems to see a bit more movement from the outside in, outside the 4-foot line this morning. Remember the first hand, Colleen tried to blank the hand and just hit on the nose. And once again, she tried to hit, roll too much, more curl than we've seen so far maybe this week.
For sure, as much anyways. We do see that as the day progresses and the temperature rises, because it has been an unusually warm winter on the prairies, that the doors are open in the building, trying to keep the building cool with the fabulous crowds that they've had, that the ice does straighten out with every prospective draw. And speaking of the committee, we should take some time to acknowledge the tremendous volunteer crew we have. We have our own wonderful woman named Bev, who takes such good care of us with our coffee and makes us happy. Thank you, Bev, and the great drivers. Although a fellow last night called me Mrs. Hemmings. I was appalled at his judgment. And you were pretty scared of what your wife had become.
Marianne Way makes her shot. 2 Yellowstones counting for Colleen Jones right now. Over on C, third end. Holland, Anderson. With Holland on top. 1 Yellowstone sitting in the 4. And Amber Holland looks to draw here with a chance for 2.
Clean. Whoa. Well, yes. Yep. Hurry.
Amber Holland has been close a couple of times this week. Her record is now at 2 and 4. Will she get it by? Yellowstone in front. Yes, she does. Nice shot for Amber Holland, and a 4-1 lead on the unbeaten Sherry Anderson. So you can see that, I shouldn't say unbeaten, 5-1 Sherry Anderson, but she's won 5 in a row. So you can see what can happen here on any draw. There's no easy games.
No easy game. Amber Holland's been close in the whole game, I think, so far. I think she might have lost a couple in the last 10 with or without the hammer. Every game she played so far, it was really in the heat of it till the end.
Julie Skinner made a great hit and roll on her first shot. That's the stone that Kim Kelley is going after. Can only throw about backline to hack weight because it was such a good roll.
Okay, you're by. Good shot,
Great shot by Kim.
Nicely done. Nice teamwork. Once again, you see the shot was well thrown, but the sweeper kept it straight as much as they can to make it perfect.
What kind of weight? What kind of weight is it? 4.5 here?
Colleen Jones has the hammer and is counting 2 for now.
Did you get it? Oh, and she just tapped it out. So I need 80.
At this point, for Kelley Law knows that with those 2 stones belonging to Colleen Jones and her having last stone, the best way to maybe get out of this alive, if you will, is to play the freeze. That stone is behind the tee line.
Line's good.
Pass away. Where is it?
Final stone
Line's
for
good.
Kelley Law's third. Julie Skinner.
Harder! Hurry! Hurry, guys, right up,
Watch
right
that
up,
rock
right up,
track
right
right
up.
off that center line.
Hurry!
Coming over a little right. Can they get it right to where they want it?
Good sweeping, guys.
Nice shot.
Yes.
Indeed, good sweeping like that right from the start. No matter what they say, lots of room, or no matter what the call was from the house, they never stopped sweeping that stone.
Good sweeping. Holy God.
Yeah.
Our shot rock too, eh?
Yeah.
Sweet. Take that.
Yeah.
It's good. Man. We didn't really have a choice there, did we? But leave the yellow one back and poke the red one that side of it. Sure. I don't know.
Up to the moment scores 2-2. King and LaRouche.
Not as much space as I
To
thought.
our
Oh,
left.
yeah, the jiggle. I mean, I don't think
Holland,
you
as we showed you a
I kinda
moment
think
ago,
we
is
just
taking the
wanna
lead
draw
over
weight,
Sherry
bump
Anderson
to there, and then we're sitting there.
to 4-1.
Yeah.
Madame leading Fraser 4-2.
I don't think your shooter's
Had an
going to
early
go for it. I
4-0
think
lead,
it's
did
best
Madame.
if your shooter, I mean, ideally just to there, because that
4
way
and
when
2
she tries
teams.
to double, maybe.
Folly leading Ridgeway
Maybe it'll go somewhere.
from Regina
Yeah.
at 2-1.
That was back line to half.
How did it get there?
Our feature game,
Well, she
all
was
even at
freezing,
1.
I guess.
Colleen Jones against Kelley Law.
Just wants to tap this. Here's the chess game. You tap this stone to here. You leave your shooter here. Kelley Law will play the double, but she will leave her shooter here. Then Colleen plays the double for 2. That's the plan. Wants to just touch it over
Just go
sideways.
with Julie's, and you know what? You're just throwing to there. I'll give you a little less.
That's the kind of
You were
situation
here with back line.
where you're taking 2 and 3 shot ahead. What's going to happen on my first shot, my last shot?
She was
What
right
kind of
there, on, right
option will I
here
have?
with back line. But you're throwing back 8. And you had almost hack, back line to hack last time.
Just a discussion. You saw that Kim came down to talk to Colleen because even though she's not the player that calls the line in the house, she's throwing this rock and needs to be clear in her own mind, as they've had the discussion back and forth down the sheet of ice, what kind of weight she's throwing.
Lobes back 12. Lobes back 12. Close.
Needs to curl a lot here.
Colleen Eister for back 8.
Starting to come now.
Hit it.
Will they chip it out? No, clean miss.
That's why right there, that rock just a little bit heavy by Kim. Colleen just wanted her to just touch it back.
I was only trying to move it 2 inches.
I know.
Okay. Kind of like right about there.
Okay.
That's my impression.
Okay.
Who shot there? It's really close, but I have a feeling it's them. Is that good?
Not too much doubt in Kelley's mind. I'm not sure how closely they've looked at it. Julie seemed to
Okay.
think that for sure it was
this
red.
is where we want to be.
You can see how tight that is. Kelley wants to protect that by throwing a tight guard. take away any chance that Colleen has to play that shot again, even if she's not shot. Makes it tougher for Colleen to score 2, and will have to make some sort of a play on those stones on her next one.
Down to Skips Rocks here in 4. 1-1 game, 2-4-2 teams. And this is Kelley Law's first stone.
Line's good. Whoa.
Coming in deeper, they're letting her know that she's already at 8 foot.
Curling. Whoa, guys.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Curling too much. Whoa, whoa.
Watch the rock break
Now
off that center line this morning.
This one is curling a little more than they'd hoped.
Still not a bad shot.
Yeah.
Colleen seems to think that there's enough room to just get by that guard and move this thread a bit off
turns, we need to take
the 4 foot to be lining 1 or 2.
Because yours is going to go.
No hesitation that she seems to think that there's plenty of room to get by that red. She doesn't need to move the red
All
a
she's
lot.
got to do is move it about a 1/4 inch.
The same thing
She
as
believes
Kim.
the red
Back 8,
stone
move
to be
an
the
inch.
shot
That's
rock.
all we're trying to move it.
According to what they're saying, yeah.
I'm quite short then, Marianne. Four and a half.
She's just trying to move that red just a couple of inches and stay right on top of it.
Don't roll
Not
this
giving a
shooter.
chance to Kelley to throw a double on her last stone. She doesn't want to roll too much. Just touch it a bit.
Less, Nance.
First stone of the 4th hand for Colleen Jones.
Hard line. Line's good. Yeah, hard line. Hard.
This is the straightest path. It'll ride the line, and then once it gets off the center line, watch the rock go sideways now.
Go hard. You got a great shot, guys.
Right about there. They love this one so far.
Okay, go hard though. Keep going. Keep going. Ooh. Oh, such a great line.
Had the great line, not enough weight.
Come back, you guys, from the glide of the beginning end.
Not the 4-7.
Okay.
It's only 4-5.
Okay.
What do you want?
That was a great line, just a couple of feet short.
Come back.
Well, they thought it was back 4
I know.
when it was on my hand, but they
Yeah.
do say it's just 4.5. But
We heard this yesterday morning. It's not that the times are any different. It is how quickly the rocks will stop.
Same weight.
You've seen the same thing on the Kelley's last stone, like they call about the hog line that the rock was top 8 and it just stopped as a guard. So maybe it's stopping really faster than the sweeper expected it to do.
Okay, guys.
Final stone for BC's Kelley Law.
Line's good.
Without the hammer in 4,
Easy,
Line's
easy.
good.
still an
Curl.
opportunity
Easy,
to make
guys.
something happen here.
It's got lots.
Yeah, I could put the pressure here
Whoa,
on
guys.
Colleen.
Line's good. Whoa, whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa, whoa.
Whoa.
Wants to take
Whoa,
away
whoa,
the
whoa, whoa.
raised
Have fun.
bump.
That one's not bad. Yep. Yep.
To force Colleen way out there to play the draw. And we talked about
Good try,
Colleen's
Kelley.
love of the hit game. And if you're going to
Sorry.
leave her a shot, what do you want to leave her? You want to leave her a draw.
Good shot.
And that's
Mine are curling
really all that's left.
Like I
I
said,
thought I'd make
Yeah,
sure that I
that's a
get way
good
out
guard.
there.
Like,
I thought you were hair tight.
Did you?
But let's take, like I say, let's
much
take a little
choice
bit
for
more ice
Colleen
for you
than
for
trying
your
to put it on
guards,
the lid.
unless we can afford to be a little over. Okay. Although she wouldn't be playing that one, but
They had another look at the 2 shot to really make sure who
you know,
shot.
it's I'll go with the measure. Okay. I'll draw for 1.
You could hear that they're not totally sure that they're not shot rock, so they're gonna go for the pin, and if their second shot,
And
take
even
their
the thing
deuce.
with the run back, Marianne, there's no guarantee that I'm not just going to jack it back. Yeah.
And talk about the jack effect. No guarantee she doesn't go bang, 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 bang. Maybe she gets one, maybe she doesn't. If you're going to only play for 1, here's your easier shot, and you measure, and maybe you get 2.
Now, you guys had said out of my hand that it was a back 4. Was the split that, or were you going by a...
I was going by because I thought you were throwing back 8. I knew you were.
Yes. Okay.
So I just was hoping it was back 4. I think
Okay. It was a hopeful. Okay. All right.
That's a good conversation with
It was a
just her
hopeful.
there.
It's a fabulous conversation, and one of the greatest things about having mics on the players, Colleen really wanting to understand whether
That's
that rock
pretty
did
close
something
weight.
funny or whether she can throw the same
Full
weight.
4.
Line's
Usually
great.
14 to maybe 14-3, 14-4.
Full 4.
Should get you to
Full
the
line,
4 foot.
perfect. Yeah, full 4. Full 4. Hard.
She'll be awfully close, 14-3.
Right up.
Colleen Jones looking to put it on
Clean
the
it.
lid.
Nice shot, Colleen.
Nicely
One for
done.
sure.
And take
We'll
one.
Measure these. 4.5.
They'll
We need a
measure
here.
before they decide if it's 1 or 2 for Colleen
What's
Jones.
Red all day.
Huh? Is it?
Colleen seemed to think it was the red
I
rock.
thought it was close.
Key Hemmings.
Yeah, like it looks like a red to me, but also they say like both teams say it looks like red too, and Julie Skinner said it looks like red all day.
So does Marianne.
Really curled. Both of them did.
Is it one?
Nice draw by Colleen though. Just put it on the lid. That's good for your confidence because you might need that draw weight later in the hand in a more crucial situation. So it's good to put one right there.
So we'll get our chances for 2.
Canadian Curling Association officials do all of the measures at this level of play.
And it's nice all across the sheet. I don't see any frost.
See it move up a little bit. We'll see if we're able to see this one. Doesn't move at all. So the way that they played it this whole end, that it was red, is right.
Just one for Colleen Jones. This is just the second time curling is a full-time Olympic status sports. And here are 8 players who would really love to be there. Nancy Delahunt, the lead for Colleen Jones. Diane Nelson for Kelley Law. Marianne Way. And Georgina Wheatcroft. The third's Kim Kelley and Julie Skinner. And the skips with a worth of world experience, Colleen Jones and Kelley Law. Lots more ahead from the Canadian Curling Trials, live from Regina. Another great morning of curling in Regina. Here's an update. Sheet C to Saskatchewan team Sherry Anderson. Up to Lyle, who has won 5 in a row. Amber Holland of the Cali Curling Club in Regina. Anderson's final stone as she trails 4-1. Chance to get right back into it here. And that's will count for 2. 4-3. Amber Holland still hanging on. She'll have the hammer moving to 5. And we slide over to our feature game for the 5th end now, with Jones leading Law 2-1.
Just saw the raised takeout. First stone by Colleen Jones. Went in, Kelley went in. They just played the great run back. And so that's why we only have 1 guard up front, which Diane Nelson is trying to get around.
Yeah, wait, last wait. Last wait.
Gotta go.
Hurry. We got room, guys. Line's good. Yep. Later,
Pretty good example there, Guy, of why you like to skip.
Yeah, you could stand there and say harder.
Wait a bit later.
Although in honesty, I far prefer that approach than what we see at World Championship slot with the Europeans, where everybody leaps up and sweeps. And I think once you get much beyond 2 or 3 people, it's just people waiting to trip on each other, and I'm not sure how helpful it is. I just gave you a reason to tell your team why you don't come help.
That's because I'm slowing down the stone.
Here's the second for Colleen Jones. Marianne Way.
Hurry, quick!
Colleen looking for guards. You remember that measure last end, didn't win it. Got her point, and so now needs to steal.
Nice weight, Marianne.
Great
Nice
weight, just
Marianne.
ticks that guard.
Yeah, we saw a lot of movement so far in that turn. Started in
Play the intern.
in the third end, it was coming around nicely around us in the guard. So once again, just touched the guard.
Maybe. Right.
Georgina Wheatcroft in the hack for Kelley Law. Law with the hammer here at 5.
Yep.
Just singles scored so far in our game.
Right over.
Okay, wants to get it right out to the wings.
Is that 5 rock, man?
first call was try to hit and roll behind those guard, but if you're not going to roll behind the guard, you may as well try to roll further as possible to prevent a chance from Colleen to hit right back behind the guard.
Second stone for Marianne Way in 5. Easy call for Colleen Jones.
Get over.
Lots of weight, and out there we know that it runs pretty straight. Kelley says, okay, I've got last rock. I'm going to take some chances, and I will beat you in here first.
Perfect. 4.5.
Georgina Wheatcroft, second stone.
Weight's good.
Line's tight.
Lots.
Oh, this heat rock's big.
Whoa. Whoa. Yeah, we might as well go now. Whoa.
Still try to do
Yes,
something with it,
wait.
something useful. To use it as a guard or something.
I'd
Or
freeze on this one. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. Hey.
Never give
Well,
up on the stone.
They dragged it into the 12. Here's action on sheet E, fifth end. Ridgeway trailing Fowley 2-1, and Ridgeway faces 4 Fowley Yellowstones.
Yep. Yep. Whoa.
And the only option, get rid of 1 and count 1.
that's a good plan.
2-2.
Considering the options, it certainly was.
It was the only call.
What's your other option, like shake hand right away? Or go for a nice French breakfast somewhere?
Yeah. I'll keep waiting for you to take me for one.
Haven't seen crepes all week.
Julie shooting at the pair of them. Not really worried about getting both. Really would like to remove that 1 stone, get a bit of a roll.
Whoa. Yes. Yes. Whoa. Hurry.
Gets 1 and the bit of the roll.
Nice shot.
There's the roll. Very
Shot
nice.
Indeed.
I doubt it. Okay.
So well guarded now that Colleen does not have much choice than try to go around those guards. She knows she doesn't have,
Wait, what's good?
doesn't
When?
have access to those
Okay.
to that stone in the top of the house, so she's gonna try to go around.
That's the newest.
Kelley Law for Colleen
Line's
Jones.
great. Gotta go. Line's great. Hurry, line. You got room. Hurry, wait.
Start sweeping right
Hurry,
from the
wait's
start.
pretty good. Line's great.
They like the line.
Finish it up. Finish it. Great shot, Cam.
Great shot.
Oh, that's a great weight shot. Just they had lots of room by the guard. Wanted to make sure
Yeah,
they were
got
fine.
about a third of it.
I think you can throw here.
Back line.
Yeah.
Back line, guys.
Even
What
here.
does she have, 85 split?
Kelley wants to make sure that stone's out of
come.
play.
So about a 14?
Law with the hammer in 5.
Yeah.
Julie Skinner's final stone.
Whoa. Pause.
Just asked for sort of backline hack. They know it swoops really hard in here.
Obviously on it all the way.
Get the roll.
Great shot
They
to
get
get it
the roll.
by. Nicely done. We've talked about the pressure this week on these
Gotta get that
curlers.
way
There's no
over,
doubt
guys.
about it, but there's huge pressure. There's Bruce Law. And look at this, they're sitting in order. We've got Julie Skinner's husband.
Okay, we're working down.
We've
Skip,
got this all
third.
lined up. We've got Mark in there with
Second.
the hat. We've got Diane's fiance, Grant. They
There
sit in
you
order,
go.
and it's a tough week for those guys.
Is it tough to organize the
Nice
guys to
shot.
do that? to line up in
You know what I mean? Because I thought I was
the correct order?
So let's get it
Well,
right
I
there. Yeah.
think that's quite
good done.
well planned for
Yes.
them. They
That was on
probably
the
spend their
husband's
breakfast planning this.
That's what I was laughing at.
But it's it really is a tough week on the partners. Sorry, Guy.
No, absolutely no comment.
I remember seeing your wife having a couple of tough goes at you,
Nancy, an inch more.
I'm not allowed to talk about it.
I'll bet you're not.
Regular.
And I'm not laughing about it.
You're just trying to stay out of trouble, right?
Yeah.
Skips rocks to count. Here's Colleen Jones.
Close
First.
out. Hard. Hurry. Hard. No roll.
Got a lot on this. And it'll roll right out the back. The shooter.
Come around.
She really wants to hit and stick in the house somewhere, not to give a chance to Kelley. To Kelley allowed to go with a draw around those center guard, because now she's looking at a chance for 3 here with a good draw. But Colleen rolled a bit too much.
Good edge up. This is going, eh? Yep. Okay, I think it's 4.5 here. Okay.
That's a really good chance here for Kelley to put lots of pressure on Colleen. If you could put that one on top of the house, Barry.
You're right, Guy. There's no doubt about it. If she's able to get around, it's not even about the 4 foot. Somewhere in front of that tee line right there. Boy, oh boy, Colleen's only got 1 shot left. Chances for 3 here. She can make this one really good.
4.5.
We might see the husband jumping around if she scores 3. Some action in the stand behind the sheet.
I'm not going to hold my breath for that, but
Line's great.
They seem like a very obedient foursome to me when you look at the
Line's
way
good. Tight. Getting
seated
tighter.
in the stands.
Hurry for line.
Wow, with a hammer, this is her first stone in 5.
How much? Yes.
Yes!
Hurry. Whoa, whoa,
get it by the
whoa.
first
They got
one.
it
Get
there.
I had to get by, George. I had to get by.
Here you come.
Good shot.
That's a very good
Very
swing.
nice. Behind the tee and behind cover.
Good shot.
It's a great shot. You heard Georgina
Had to get by.
wanting to say whoa, but Julie is bang on. They had to get by.
Would have been good way back.
Well, yeah.
Fraser Madah on sheet D. Madah facing
4.5.
2 red stones with her last rock. Sherry Madah leading by 1, looking to kill 2. And count 3. Or count 2.
You can see
They're
now
leading by 3.
that was a great shot by Kelley, because any chance for Colleen to score 2 this end is gone. This is the shot that she's got. Or rather to try to steal 2. What am I saying? Really puts the pressure on Colleen. That rock is behind the tee line. That's the only advantage that they've got. But they didn't have a whole lot of choice there. The rock was starting to curl. Have to get it by.
Hard. Hurry hard. Hard, girls. Hard.
Final stone for Colleen Jones here in 5.
Oh boy, got to get it by.
Will they make it by? Not this time.
Chance for 3, all right. This is what we talked about earlier. If Kelley makes it good.
Just draw.
Yeah. That looks good.
Now, Colleen had a good chance to get out of this trouble, but she came a bit light or tight, or a combination of both, and just wreck on the guard, which is not exactly what she was looking for. Even for just top 8 would have been good enough to prevent from big 3, but now that's like I said earlier this week, that's a dream of every skip, a free draw for 3. A hope and draw for 3 for me.
Kelley struggled a little bit earlier with her draw weight. 70% on the 5 draws that she's thrown so far. This one of her least difficult. All she needs to do is bite a piece of the 8 foot for 3 points. And a pretty nice lead.
Good.
Kelley Law with a chance in 5.
Line's good.
To score the first multiple points this morning.
Room. Lots
She's
of
counting
room. Just
2
wait.
already.
Just for weight. Keep it clean. Keep it clean. Keep it clean. Nice shot, Kelley. 3.
Looks like 3 to me.
There we go. Yeah. Okay, so get them. Let's go.
So Kelley Law on top 4-2 as we head to the 6th end picking up 3 in 5. Men are back on the ice this afternoon, and look at the logjam at the top. Bert Gretzinger and Russ Howard leading the way at 5-1. Lots of teams with a shot. Kevin Martin 2 wins yesterday, so he's right back in the thick of things. Kerry Burtnick has won 3 in a row. Randy Furby also at 3-3, along with John Morris and Jeff Stoughton. This is a long way from over, with the men continuing here this afternoon. And the matchup will be, ready for this, Russ Howard against Kevin Martin. Howard at 5-1, Martin at 4-2. For their thoughts on that, Ray Turnbull and Linda Moore.
Well, Linda, we can't go wrong this afternoon. We got 2 of the heavyweights, and both these teams have been playing so well.
And what great matchups at every position. Now, I always like to look at the thirds, but let's look a little bit about what kinds of shots each of the players have played. Because you might think, oh, Kevin Martin, he always plays all hits. But when you look at the percentage of shots as draws, Kevin Martin's actually playing a little more than Russ Howard, the guy that we say always has the quiet touch. But look, key in a little bit, James Grattan playing for Russ Howard. He's the one playing most of the hits. And it just shows you that Russ Howard's actually had to make a few changes on his lineup. He's taken the personnel, taken their strength, and used it well. Kevin Martin, though, he does use Don Walchuk in the big hit, so watch for that.
You know, it's the Russ Howard of old. We said it earlier, but he really feels comfortable. He's been playing those soft weight shots, and I think adding Glenn Howard to this team again gives him the confidence in reading ice. This is the kind of shot that he's been playing against William Maddaw. You can see it quiet. This is his patent shot. See the weight? Back 12-foot weight, gets by a high guard, taps the rock back. This is the kind of shot he loves to play and very seldom misses. 3 points. So this afternoon, we get to see these 2 shooters join us.
Oh, we'll all be here along with young curling fans at the Agrodome here in Regina. 6th end coming up at the Canadian Curling Trials. Well, it looks like a lovely day for a stroll in Victoria Park here in Regina. Guy, have you been outside yet at all except getting into the vans?
Oh, yes. I'm jogging every morning.
With a muffin in one hand and a donut in the other.
Canada's curling hero alongside here.
Okay, let's go.
Kathy Gauthier in charge of proceedings, running the kitchen this morning and pouring coffee, so that's appreciated.
I am not. My mother gave me grief after the last time, and it actually is Guy's day to be in the kitchen. I'm just putting my cup out.
Well, I know I did it yesterday.
Yep.
Or was it the day before?
I think it was the day before.
I think you're due there tomorrow, Elsie.
Yep. Yep.
6th end is underway, and our feature attraction, Kelley Law, with the lead on Colleen Jones after picking up 3 in the last end. After 5, the other numbers look like this, Kath.
Well, we've got a pretty even game except for that one miscue last end by Colleen Jones on her draw weight. There you go. That's what we're talking about. It's the draw statistics that have been hurting Colleen. It is typical of Colleen's game to prefer the hit game, but it was the draw in her last shot that opened up the door for Kelley Law to make a draw to score 3 points and to give her that 4-2 edge.
A long way to go, however, in this match with 2 world champions going head-to-head on Sheet B here at the Agrodome.
Here at the top of the show, I thought would be the key matchup, and it has been a significant difference. Look at some of these numbers. 95 from Nancy going in. This is what has given Diane the 92%. That's given her the lead in the stats, but today it has been her hits that she's getting going out of her hands that have hurt her. 20% difference. It's pretty significant at the lead position.
And that's a reversal of what the numbers were coming into this for those
Maybe
2
going
players.
through. I should take it
Nancy's
right through.
definitely risen to the occasion.
Right back. You thought I could get it out, didn't you?
Yeah, this rock was not going to stop it, and it plays good for Kelley Law. So decide to sweep it through the house. She's got a 2-point lead. She doesn't want to face lots of rock in the house. That's why she decided to sweep that rock out of the house.
So for Colleen, she's got that guard up just a little bit off the center line, asking Marianne Way to get around there.
And here's the delivery for Marianne Way.
Let's wait. From there, all the way there.
Where's our swoop?
Gonna be in front of the tee here. That's the key place. Don't slide too deep.
Good shot,
Not
Marianne.
coming quite as quickly as they had hoped, but it is in front of the tee.
It's a pretty good spot
It's
because
a very good spot.
it's tough to get rid of it without jamming on the red. So Kelley's noticing that it's not much you can do about it. Just gonna peel the guard.
Regina Wheatcroft for Kelley Law. The high hard one.
Shot.
Removing the guard out front.
You can see the angle those stones were lined up at with that guard up there. Any play on the yellow stone would have driven it onto the red. Good call by Kelley.
3 reds sitting there for Michelle Ridgway. Final stone for Heather Fowley. It's all even at 2, playing 6.
Big draw here. She need a piece of the 4-foot big time against 3.
Key game for both teams at 4 and 2. Hoping to solidify a chance at the playoffs with a couple of wins here today.
Good stop in time.
I don't think so, Guy. Steal of 3 for Ridgway, and it's 5-2.
Sweepers will feel bad about that. We saw them work it pretty hard down the ice. Colleen trying to split the house on line 2. She does split the house, but you can see the red stone. His second shot for now. Kelley having a chance to remove the stone after Georgina peeled the guard on the first one.
Whoa, just clean. Whoa. Yep.
Third rocks, and this is Julie Skinner.
Just clean. Whoa.
Shot.
Sit.
A nice little roll to give some cover for the lost stone in the 8 behind the line, behind the tee.
It's not a bad shot, but give a chance to Colleen, and Kim Kelley tried to hit this red stone. If you get lucky, get the double in line 2.
King has the lead on LaRouche on sheet A. Anderson and Holland are even now. Holland had the early lead. And the big 3 there for Madame, and a 6-3 advantage.
Gets it back, doesn't quite remove the red stone from play, keeps her shooter around.
Might as well stick on that back one. Yep. Just normal, guys.
Longtime member of this team.
She decided to hit this one this time because if she hit the other yellow in front of the house, she still would give a chance to Colleen's to give a try at a double. Is still like 2. Now, if you hit this one on the nose, it's going to be really tough for Kelley. Really difficult for Colleen to hit the double in light 2.
Hurry! Clean! Yes!
Julie Skinner.
Yes! Clean!
Clean.
Clean!
Good.
Her final stone here in the 6th.
Nicely done.
And they've got it.
See those rocks being even like that, it's really difficult to throw enough weight to make the double. So she had a couple of options here. She could decide to freeze them on one of those 2 red, or just hit it and be 2 and 3 shot.
Colleen's thinking here, as Kim's echoing your sentiments a little bit, Guy, from the hack about the freeze. What Colleen would like to do is hit the stick out here, and she knows that the way that the rocks run in the wings, it makes it a little tougher to stick because the rocks want to fall out. And what she's thinking is that if she gets a little bit of a miscue, a little bit of a roll out, or even a roll to the wings, she'll have her chance for 2, and not prepared to take that chance yet.
Kelley's shot for Colleen Jones, replacing red with yellow.
Totally there. I don't think it's worth
All the highlights,
Huh? Do you like that?
scores, and stories coming up with Rod Smith on SportsCenter, 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific time, the next edition.
Interesting situation here is Kelley looking
Half
at the
rock,
double.
less than half a rock there with this turn.
Do you like the out turn better?
Well, the in turn's fine.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
She wanted half of this yellow and roll on into the other yellow to make the double.
She talked about playing about half of the rock, wants to make the double, thinks it's now or never. It's not easy, especially with this turn.
Why wouldn't you want to play the double?
Yeah, Julie talked about playing the other yellow on house and just still line 2, but Kelley seems really confident she could make that double and really put the pressure on Colleen once again by lying 2.
After giving up 3 in the previous end, Colleen Jones has the hammer.
Yes! Yeah!
Here in 6.
Wow! Yes! Wow!
First shot for Kelley Law.
Yep.
Yes!
Good shot.
Kills 2, lies 2.
Just a little less, yeah, just a hair less.
She didn't push it out of the house, but it was good enough to lie 2, which is the main objective of this shot. Make sure we lie 2 and
To get off
really
that.
tough shot for Colleen to give her a chance for lie 2 herself.
Pretty tough to kill that second rock, though, isn't it? Pretty tough to get it out of there.
If they hit it just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
What is good about the spot where the red is right now, so if Colleen's tried to hit the double herself, she probably would jam this red onto the yellow, which is no point trying the double. She's probably going to try just to hit on the nose. Is that what she said, Kelley?
So the yellow that remains may be an advantage for Kelley Law.
Yeah,
You're looking at the double, right?
Yeah, the double is there, but I really do think that the red's going to go right back on the yellow, which is going to be not so good, making the double.
A jam, in other words, there?
Yeah. So I'm not sure exactly what she's trying here. Try either hit on the nose or just maybe just off nose and roll on top of the other red would be something that you could consider. Turn hit for Colleen.
Well, really put the pressure on.
Got it.
Colleen Jones in the last end with a 3. Jones has the hammer here. This is her first shot. And she decided that's all she could really accomplish with it.
Yeah, because if you try to hit anywhere inside and jamming on the yellow wasn't too good, so she play a safe shot, hoping to be second and third shot in that hand. If Kelley makes a mistake by hitting one yellow and rolling out, she still have a good chance for 2.
Anyway, right?
Yeah, 3/4 would be good.
Yeah.
Okay.
What they've talked about doing is to come down here and maybe they get the double. That would be the ideal, and roll in.
It's a kind of a double option shot. You know, you could either make the double if you hit a good angle, or if you miss the double, as long as you roll a second shot, it's still a good shot. So you like those kind of shots when you have a couple of options on the way down.
Kelley Law's final stone.
Kelley having a great day today. Came into this. Fifth overall of all skips. Colleen Jones first. At this point, she's 20% better than her competitor.
1, 2, and the roll. So that pretty well leaves the button for Colleen with her final shot.
Really good shot. Got both. Got the roll inside and the double.
Colleen will play the hit.
Did you curl a touch more? Yeah, it's okay. I didn't want to get the double on the back one. That's a pretty good roll.
Yeah, they're happy with that.
Line 2. Good shot.
Yeah, when you're a 2-point lead, you just make sure you don't give a chance for your opponent to take a deuce. Like, she's pretty happy now, forcing Colleen to take her 1.
And get the hammer back.
Get the
with a
hammer
1-point advantage.
Exactly. Even though we're playing under the 4 rock, Freegar's on a 1-point lead with hammer is still a decent lead.
64% in this game so far. Colleen having a great week, has been in the 80s and 90s.
Clean.
Just having a bit of a struggle. Needs to make this to close the gap.
Right off, actually, Marianne.
Looking to take one, which she was forced to do by Kelley Law. And there's the one for Colleen Jones. It's 4-3.
It's not bad.
Moving on to 7, Kelley Law continues to hang on to the advantage. Kathy Goche and John Wells with you back at the Agrodome in Regina as we run through the scores from left to right. Kathy King holds on to a narrow lead at 4-3 there. Same score in our feature match, Law and Jones. 5-4. Amber Holland giving Sherry Anderson, the leader of the pack, all she can handle. Big 3 for Madab for a 6-4 advantage on Fraser, and 3 for Ridgway recently to take control of things over there, 5-2.
Okay, freeze. Oh, I'm just gonna.
It's a big day. There's so many combinations that can happen. We had somebody work it out for us, and still, with a variety of things happening, there could wind up being a 7-way tie for second, depending on how things come to pass. So when you look at the field, and you got to feel that you got to go out there and play every game as hard as you can, because all things can still happen.
Yeah, the possibilities are endless, so we're not even going to talk about them. Suffice to say that Anderson leads the way at 5-1. There are 4 teams tied for second spot at 4-2. Fowley, Jones, Law, and Ridgway. So we'll worry about the mathematics of this whole thing later, Guy, if it's all right with you.
Yeah, could you imagine that 7-way tie for second spot? We'd have tiebreaker until Monday.
Control die?
Well, and they won't actually. What they would start to do, just so that you know, if there are tiebreakers, they would begin as late as Thursday night and almost use Thursday night through the night to play those, so that we could bring you the final tiebreaker that would put the teams in the semis first thing in the morning on Friday. But it's daunting what could still happen, and that applies to the men's as well. It's far from being determined there.
Well, here's what you're hoping for, Guy. No tiebreakers. So we have to move to the night shift as well.
Right over. Great shot, Ty.
Good shot.
Tiebreakers are fun, but you don't really want to be up here at midnight or something watching.
You know, I like curling a lot, so there's lots of things I'm ready to do for
I think you can throw regular, though.
You can see that about 3/4 of that stone is exposed for Marianne Way to try to make the double.
Sure, the ice isn't straightening. Might be.
Interesting thought.
Great
from
shot. Oh.
Kelley Law.
Guess my 2-rock might be straight, Colleen. My 2-rock might be straight.
Red rock on the right hangs around the yellow.
Now. Remember my draw down there?
Came off the bounce board.
Talked about coming into this game that Team Law was, as a team, at the top of the leaderboard. Kelley Law herself, though, not in that position, was in 5th. Colleen Jones was the top shooting skip. A little bit of trouble today. Nancy Delahunt at the bottom there in the lead position, having a fabulous outing.
Tons room.
For Kelley Law, Georgina Wheatcroft rock.
Trying to get in there. You can see with the jam from Marianne Way, there's a red stone now that's way out in the wings. Kelley Law with last rock. Try to score 2 here.
Curl. Wait. We can wait for it, eh?
Marianne here with a chance to hit this red and flop behind the yellow. This is a tough situation for Colleen right now, you know, because at one point in the game, there's always a couple of ends where you know you're behind. You want to take some chance, but you're only one behind with 4 rocks to play. So you got to play some kind of aggressive to try to steal, but make sure you don't give it 2 or 3. Later in the game, if you're still one behind, you go for it. You don't mind if you give it 2 or 3. You need to steal, but those hands, the 6, 7 hand, are really tough.
Heather Fowley trailing Michelle Ridgway 5-2, 7th end. And here's Fowley's chance to get back into this.
Yeah.
After giving up 3 to Ridgway earlier. Fowley has a chance to get a tray back.
Kicking field goals over there.
There they are. Lots of threes this morning. And it's even 5-5. Going to 8.
Because that's the best defense against giving a tree. You score a tree back.
It is not only on the scoreboard, but mentally and emotionally for yourself. It just puts you right back into the game.
Never think about it before.
Right there. Shots for a day.
Once again, Lies 2 having a little bit of difficulty getting behind that stone. It's possible that the ice is starting to straighten out a little bit. They're in the sliding path there, and so sometimes later in the game, usually around the 7th end, which is where we are now, pebble starts to break down and rocks won't curl as hard.
Kim Kelley for Colleen Jones. They'll watch this all the way. And no problem.
Nice shot, nice roll. They tried to get away from the center guard. Not to give a chance to Kelley to hit the yellow and roll behind the guard.
No.
Plus, as we discussed many times so far in this game, it's way tougher to hit and stick on the side than it is in the middle of the sheet. So Colleen needs a roll out here from someone, otherwise she endangers giving her a big 2.
Just clean.
Julie Skinner.
Up. Go for the roll. Whoa.
Skinner's first stone here in 7.
And there's the method to the madness.
There's the roll.
Hey, Julie.
But still, they're on that side of the sheet now.
It's not a bad shot. Roll too much, but
Colleen?
there's no easy double here for Colleen. She's just trying to figure out what she could do with it. Thinking about hitting this rock on the tee line and roll just in front of the red. Make it difficult for Julie Skinner to hit the yellow out without jamming on the red.
You're right. There's no double there, but there certainly is for Kim Kelley the chance to hit this stone and roll just a little bit to the inside, which would be right in front of the other stone belonging to Team Law.
The big roll's good too.
Watch your roll. Watch your roll.
Play the other option.
Whoa, Nance. Sorry.
Okay.
In behind the Jones guard.
Plan B, roll a bit too much.
I got just all of it.
Kind of like this. Control-ish? Control?
Yeah. Just all.
Julie's saying that she sees almost all of it, so there doesn't seem to have any problem hitting that stone and roll on the other side to keep those two red spread apart.
Clean it!
Whoa.
Yeah!
Whoa!
Lots of weight, the front end says.
Yeah! Whoa!
Yeah!
Yes!
Hurry!
Hurry! Right over!
Yeah.
And rolls it a little the other way.
That was control, I think.
Fraser Mada on sheet D, 7th end. Mada with a 6-4 advantage. And the final rock here, a chance for multiple points again. Seen 4 threes scored here at the Agrodome on the morning draw today. Not quite the field goal, just the deuce.
Yeah.
Safety.
Yeah, I think it's
I'll give her a big 4-point lead, and that's a big lead. Sherry Mida is trying to hang in there. She got 3 losses already. She's looking over the sheet now with a 4-point lead. She could relax and get some help from the other teams.
Win today, and anything's possible. 4 and 3 would be Mada's total score.
Whoa, close.
In the win-loss column, if she can hang on today.
Very hard!
Going hard, want to get to the inside of this rock.
Hard. Did that ever
Wants to stick around, though.
And it won't. Out the back.
Well, there's 2 options.
Must have picked because it sure went.
Game we're watching, Colleen Jones versus Kelley Law. Both teams at 4 and 2, so the loser here
slots.
Drops back to 4 and 3 with 2 draws to go.
Up a bit or
Touch. You watch that rocker on the line. We certainly don't see any dramatic movement. It just moves slowly all the way in the center. If she's on the 4-foot lines, run straight, but in the middle it does move.
Yeah, you're right, John. We got 2 teams with 2 losses, and we did the same thing on sheet E this morning. 2 teams with 2 losses. So one thing for sure, 2 of those teams going to end up this match with 3 losses. So that's why Sherman is right in the heat of it, because
no obvious leap on that rock, just movement all the way. Maybe just curled a little bit more than Colleen had anticipated. Kelley again, another chance to lie to.
Lots of line. Hard for line.
Kelley Law with the hammer here.
Lots of room. Yes for line.
This is her first stone in 7.
Hard. Hard.
seems a bit down on the way.
Hurry!
Whoa, whoa.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
We're just light.
All right.
Okay.
Just down.
Door opens for Colleen, a chance to get out of this end that has been controlled by Kelley.
Really didn't like that.
Opportunity wasted for Lob.
Hit just a little.
Comes back to what we discussed earlier in this hand, like if it would be later in the game, Colleen might have tried to go around those guards to try to steal, but now she's still got to protect against a two-hander.
Okay, try to get the bounce behind.
Try to hit this one and roll behind instead of go around the guard. But I'm sure if it's a 9-10 or 8 or 9-10 or 10, even the 10-10, she would go around and try to steal.
I'm going to get rid of my rocks, you guys, because I've had 2 that have absolutely, like, jumped. And it could be just hitting a flat spot. Okay. Could be just flat spots, but I don't see any flat spots.
It's very possible that there are flat spots, but you can usually see those on the ice. Those can be caused by a footprint,
let's try to just get the bounce behind and get
ice
the force
wearing
here.
down. The biggest thing is that for Colleen, she's starting to have doubts in her own mind about her rocks, and so switching them up is the right thing to do. You heard her acknowledge there may not be anything wrong with them, but mentally, if she's got any doubt, get rid of them.
Yeah, there's no worse thing than try to play with stone that you're not confident they're going to react the way they think they will be. So.
Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Final stone
whoa,
for Colleen Jones here in the 7th. Obviously, Law has the hammer. Jones has the shots.
Didn't want to roll
empty
out.
house. No, she wanted to stay.
She did, because it makes it way tougher for sure, John. If she rolls behind those guards, she forces Kelley to make a good shot. If she hits and sticks there, forces Kelley to make a shot. Now she's got the freebie.
Threw that right up, Colleen. It's a beautiful throw. So, Colleen doesn't want 5-6. Yeah. So you'll take 3-4, I guess, because you didn't want 7-8. Well,
yeah, sometimes you run out of stone.
I'm just saying, Colleen hasn't run out of rocks yet, has she? She's still got 1-2 to try.
Sometimes you feel like you should borrow a couple from the next sheet.
Good one. Blanky.
Kelley Law fires one through. Happy to blank the end and hang on to the hammer. We're headed to the 8th end. Kelley Law with the advantage on defending world champion Colleen Jones. Another great morning in Regina. Some big-time shots have already been made here. We'll go over to Sheet C, 7th end. And it's Anderson versus Holland. The final stone belongs to Anderson. The counter is on the button. A little in-off, Guy.
Yeah, trying to hit a piece of that to roll in the 4-foot. Oh, just over curl. Those one are tough.
Makes that shot, though. It was for 4. Worth a try.
Settle for 1. King leads LaRouche 5-3 on A. Nothing has changed here. Still 4-3. The hammer. Kelley Laws. We showed you 5-5. Madaz having a nice morning with a 3-2 and a couple of deuces after that, and all tied up over there. 5-5. Ridgway had a 3. Fowley comes back with 1 of her own.
Okay. Back on the feature sheet, Colleen trying to steal this end has thrown the guard on the first one. The red rock that you see in play is the
more than half
defense that Kelley Laws had of that guard.
Board.
I'm a bit surprised he's trying a hit on this one, because we talked earlier the last end about getting late in the game. I think when you're talking about 8, 9, 10, it's time to be aggressive. Plus, if you could force their ECU and really try to steal here, get the game even with the hammer on even end, it's a pretty good situation. What she decide to hit?
Corner freeze would have been a great shot, or even if she doesn't corner it, comes down on top of it, starts to build up some rocks.
Just keep some rocks in the house and see what's going on. You need to do something because you're trailing by 1 without the hammer. You're not in a good seat now, so you got to force some issues.
Safe to say that's not the style that Colleen is most comfortable playing, however.
Well, she likes to play the wide open game, but I've been watching her a lot this week, and she has normally in the latter part of the game frozen to rocks like that, particularly when they're in the 8-foot. Those aren't a huge risk early in the end.
Plus, you know that Nancy's having a good game, so you should be. She should be confident that she's going to be able to be close to the house, at the top of the house. And sometimes, if one of your teammates struggling, you might go for a simpler shot, but it's not the case this morning. Nancy Dillon's having a great game, so should use his potential this morning a bit more.
Colleen's second. Marianne Way.
Yep. Yep. Hard. Clean. Yep. Yep. Good. Where are we going?
Rolls continuing to move that stone around, 1 stone in play. Right now belonging to Colleen Jones. There is a long center guard.
Kelley's happy right now that they're trading takeout. Well, that's what she wants.
Sure.
She'll trade takeout till the end of the game if she has to.
Shot.
Live over on Sheedy. 8th end. Ridgway has the hammer in a 5-5 tie with Heather Fowley. And she's facing 3 Fowley yellows.
Last time she did this, John, she elected to play the hit.
It's last, guys.
This is one of the first draws that she's been making today. She's been mostly going after the hits.
Hard.
So the draw by Ridgway.
Hurry! Hard. No roll.
Stop soon.
Stop, stop, stop. Slow down.
Nice try.
Uh-oh.
Did it stop in time?
I'm not sure.
We'll have to wait for the...
Well, Joni's given her a hug at the hog line, so one would assume that it might have been, with all that sweeping by Carolyn Derbyshire, still good enough for 1.
We have a good look for a smile. Which team is smiling most?
It did stop in time, folks. 6-5 Ridgway.
It's women's curling, Guy. We're always happy.
It's closer to normal. Yes!
Playing for that roll finally.
There it is.
Nicely done. Here's the shot we would have thought Colleen would have played earlier.
Does the out turn look better?
Official now, Geep.
Yeah, you say it, John. It's a 1 for Ridgway. You're good at it here.
Yeah. Perfect.
That's a big point against 3.
Kim being asked to come down and play the corner freeze or come down on top of it. Anywhere in front of that stone is good. You just don't want to be deep on this one.
Line's fine. T-line.
There's Kelley's.
Line's fine. Line's great.
Rock.
T. Still have room. Whoa.
Law still
Great weight.
maintains the hammer here at 8, as we've pointed out.
Baby.
You don't try to get shot rock here. All you want to do is just get close to the red, like she can be removed without killing the other red.
Great weight, Kim. The way it curls, I think I can. Yep.
Pack weight.
Yep. It's a long guard. Pack. Just trying to punch it out and flop in front of ours.
It's so long that to get there, she will be able to get the inside roll. That's what she thinks. Good chance, because that is such a long guard and it does curl so much. Just playing easy weight.
Kim Kelley's rock just flopped open too much. Just it was really close for a really good shot, but just flopped too much.
Right off.
Here it comes.
The front end saying that's lots of weight.
Right off.
That's not
Never,
curly.
never, 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 never.
Yikes.
sit. Okay.
No.
Jeez.
They both stay? No, one
Just
stay.
ride the line once again, Scotty.
Yep.
It's straightening up a little bit.
I think we have
Difference
to
of
go
the
here, you
weight.
guys.
And maybe even
What
a
kind of
little
weight did I
less
have? Board? Wasn't much more than board. I just moved the spilled those around. Yeah. Sure wasn't moving. Like
They
the
were
other ones
trying
were.
for hack weight, and she admits she was about board weight. So this couple of feet in the weight makes a lot of difference often on the line.
And we also saw in Kim Kelley's that it didn't curl a ton. It did move slowly. Colleen giving her a little bit less ice on this one.
So without the hammer here, the door opens a crack for Colleen Jones.
Just be a guard. If it's a guard, I'd whoa, you're going to over curl. You think you can get it in? Go. Hard, hard, keep it going. Hurry, hurry, hurry.
Could be in for a second shot at least.
Without,
Good sweep, you guys.
well, come on.
It's not that bad though.
No.
She's still covering a good part of the yellow shot stone.
That's pro for sure.
Kelley immediately goes to the higher guard, trying to remove both if she's able to. That stone by Kim Kelley, while not in the house, acts as a great guard to the stone belonging to Colleen Jones that's now biting a piece of the button.
That's what we call missing on the pro side. You miss a shot. Being long in that situation would have been terrible for Kim Kelley, but being short was not awful, as you could see. Force Kelley to play a hit on the guards.
Julie Skinner looking to kill a couple. Gets one. Gets the long guard.
She didn't get the double takeout, the double kill in front.
It's a high guard.
Yeah. Love it.
It's a good chance here for Colleen to throw a good guard in front.
Over curl this a bit.
She liked the situation. She
Just
shot
up there.
rock in the forefoot. The rock in front of the house is hers too, so it can be used very effectively by Kelley to play a raise takeout because it's the same caller.
Kathy King
Does the intern
leads
come around look hard to you
Marie-France
guys?
LaRouche 5-3.
With that
And
tight
this is
guard?
LaRouche's final
Huh?
shot. 8th end.
For her, I mean. I just don't know what side to protect here. The out turn
Chance for a
the draw to
couple
the
here
button.
for Marie-France LaRouche.
Just behind the tee.
Needs us to
I'm
tie the
guarding.
game.
I'm guarding.
Even a tree to take the lead.
How about that?
Not really. I don't want a double peel.
Crowd loves this little one.
Well,
Quebec
Scotty Button.
had a big struggle this week. They have played well.
Struggle this week, but they have been close in a couple of games that could have turned the whole thing around.
Yeah, just the late hand have been tough for them. Like they were in the game till the 6, 7, 10 most of their game.
High
They just
guard.
made a couple
Let her go try it.
mistake later in the game to lose lots of game. But they're learning. They're in the learning process. So hope they could win a couple of this by the end of the week to build their confidence a bit more for the Scott and provincials.
You know what? I
coming
still
up.
don't know what side I'm protecting here, you guys. Am I protecting
5-3
the
of
right
the
hand
morning.
side or the left hand side? I think I should protect
A lot
the
of
right
field
hand
goals
side.
we've seen.
The thing is, if we protect the right-hand side, it does give her more stuff to go around.
She's got a tough two there. A tough two.
You want to take a time?
We're fine. No, we're fine. Okay. Just give me an inch more ice.
High right in front of the one that's there.
Yeah. Well, I don't want her to double peel, though. I think I'd rather her draw than double peel.
Trying to figure out what her next shot will be. Wants to protect. There's Colleen. She's now throwing 8. Did not start the game with 8. Started with 5 and 6. We heard a little bit of discussion about those stones and in her mind the fact that maybe they weren't running as she anticipated.
Is this one better for her?
Yeah, a little more.
Good shot. Whoa, whoa.
One
Okay,
of the
we're
long
protecting that
guard.
side. That clearly wasn't enough ice.
I guess that's not exactly the shot to check out if the rock is going a little bit better for you. You're leaving it
No,
as the long guard there.
I think the discussion they had before throwing that stone was, where do we go with this guard? It's all right to throw a guard, but it was impossible to guard both sides. And either which side the guard's going, the killer will have a shot to freeze on the Yellowstone in the forefoot.
Wait.
Remembering that Kelley Law does have the hammer here.
Yeah, this Yellowstone, even though it's a really good spot, it's a bit behind the tee line, so give a chance to Kelley to come right on top of it and being shot rock.
That's the long guard you just saw. That's the guard that Colleen threw, and when she took the ice for the shot, she felt she had enough to protect this side of the line, the other side of the line, which would make Kelley Law have to go out further to get to the lid.
Kelley Law's first shot of the end.
Look at that rock go sideways.
Here it comes.
Harder! Whoa.
Rex out front.
Just a little light again, eh? Okay.
They say light.
Kelley's still second shot, though. That's a could have been worse. They could have bumped that yellow second shot.
It's not bad.
And she might be able to use that with her final stone.
Second shot.
Yeah, the good news for Colleen here is like she bumped the yellow on the other side of the long guard. So now Kelley's basically have only one turn to get access on draw weight to that shot in the forefoot. And if she's able to get into the house or block that hole, she will force Kelley Law to play a race takeout on the red on the top of the house.
One of the things that Marianne, or rather Nancy, talked about was wanting to get in the house here. And the reason that she wants to get in the house here behind that guard is the concern that if she doesn't, and she's out front, there's a run back there, and maybe there's a chance for 3. So they don't want a long guard. They want to be in the house full 12-foot. There's a long guard that you can't see on your screen right now, and that's protecting. They feel the stone in the forefoot good enough.
Yeah, you got to play with the score too. They're trailing by 1, so you have a chance to put lots of pressure coming on top of this yellow in the house and lie to, and maybe get a chance to steal too, which would really turn this game around now.
There's the long guard we talked about that protects the stone in the forefoot. She thinks, as Guy says, she looks at the scoreboard and senses that maybe this is a chance to score not only 1 but steal 2, and so get in there again.
Hard line's fine.
Trailing by 1, playing 8, final stone. For Colleen Jones.
Has to curl. It's right smack on the red. Yeah, still on the red.
It'll make it through.
Whoa. Good girl. Sorry,
Not
Marianne,
quite.
that was first shot, yeah.
She had good weight though. Surprising hang on the line bit, but maybe she sets it out.
Ran much different than Kelley Law's for sure.
Yeah.
And even her front, her first stone was curled
Yeah, we
quite a
can't
bit.
hit it.
She curled a bit more than she thought on her first stones.
Yeah.
So Kelley Law sets up for her final shot here in 8.
One of the good things about that shot, though, is it put this rock in a position that it outcounts this. And why that's huge is that to play the run back now is only for 1, and the risk is too high. So what Kelley will do is just come down and tap this stone to the forefoot for her point. This is now for 1.
Decently difficult for Kelley Law to get one here.
Once again, the front end signaling to Julie Skinner that she got lots of weight.
We got lots. Here it comes. Whoa.
She got good weight. She needs a good angle.
Tap back.
Hurry. No line. Okay, 1. Yeah.
Weight was great. Just the line.
Really good try.
All even, 1 yellow. As Jones steals in 8.
Hi, I'm Russ Howard. Watch us today on TSN.
Men's draw at 1:30. It'll be Howard at 5-1 against Kevin Martin, who won a couple yesterday to get to 4-2. So that's coming your way this afternoon with Vic and Ray and Linda live from the Agrodome here. I was going to get you to do your Russ Howard impression, but you waved me off.
I just wish I could do as well as Russ Howard.
Nice shot, Di.
That was a big steal for Colleen, wasn't it, Caddy?
It was a big steal not only because of the points on the board, but all of a sudden Colleen's team starts to sense that, you know, maybe things are going to go their way. If you look at the statistics about stolen points, 9 times going into this game has Colleen's team stolen points.
Good, Nance. Nice
now I got to admit to Kelley Law as well, it's 8 for Kelley, these are two of the highest ranked teams in terms of not only when they score, but also their ability to steal.
Seeing as they just scored, we can slow down. We got tons of time.
What was big about that steal,
More
though,
than ever.
it equals the
Okay,
game
Di,
at
let's go.
4-4. That's a good point, but they also give the hammer basically on even end to Colleen Jones. Now she doesn't need to score a lot. All she needs to do in that ninth end is force Kelley Law to score 1 point and get the hammer back for the last end with 1 point down.
Yeah.
Which situation like most of the skip like to be. Well, we like to be 3 up with the hammer, but
sometimes it doesn't work out according to plan, does it? We talked about the leads at the beginning of the show today.
Well, and some great numbers. Diane Nelson coming back much stronger in the second half of the game. Still the edge by 10% is Nancy Delahunt, who has really risen to the occasion. Perfect on her hits. Diane started much slower, but she certainly has been coming on with each progressive end.
Too late. Okay, sorry. Yeah, it's just straighter on that side.
Here are the seconds and how they stack up.
Not as great numbers as you would expect to see from someone like Marianne Way, who is on the top of the leaderboard for all seconds. Good numbers for Georgina, but again, these numbers for these ladies are usually much higher. Just a bit of a struggle this morning, especially in the draw area, and that's not so much about the draw weight, although Georgina has been deep quite a few times today. It's also been about the placement of the stones, where they've been asked to put the stones and where the stones have wound up.
Nothing in play for Georgina Wheatcroft.
She always looks so heavy, and she's not.
try to go in the house here.
A little bit, Di. Nice weight.
Just corner guard, Kelley really is deciding that she will try hard by going either in the house or up front to score 2, and not going to take a lot of chances. She'd rather have that last rock advantage coming home if she's not going to score a pair.
Yeah, with no guard in front of the house right now, what Kelley's looking for is looking for a blank and keep the advantage of the hammer in the last hand. On the other hand, Colleen's got to make sure someone score.
Although for Colleen, with the 4-guard zone, she's probably just as comfortable coming home tied up without last rock. Just will play it very, very hard. Doesn't want to give up 2.
Second rock here in 9 for Wheatcroft.
Very different seasons for these teams this year. Kelley Law traveled extensively, played in lots and lots of events, winning the Prestige in Classic in Vernon early in the season. Went on to play in a variety of others. Also won the JVC Women's Classic in Winnipeg. We saw her in the skins. A variety. Colleen, a less visible season, if you want to call it that way. Doesn't travel as extensively. Works very hard at home, although one of the choices her team made was to play in the Don Bartlett Classic, a men's bonspiel out in Newfoundland. Colleen went through her pool undefeated, terrorizing the men out there, got to the quarterfinals and lost.
We weren't there, so.
The Hemmings foursome was not there.
We didn't take the chance.
Well, you've already lost to Colleen the first time you played her, right? In the mixed, whatever year that might have been?
Yeah, in the mix.
Yeah.
What's the different situation losing with your men's team against Colleen?
Julie Skinner and Kim Kelley.
Pretty good numbers by Julie. We often talk about the thirds being the key in this competition. Some very good numbers for Julie, not as high as we would expect to see with Kim, but again, as we saw, progressive with the leads in the seconds. It is the draws that have caused these teams some trouble this morning.
Clean.
Skinner's rock. Law hoping to keep things under control, and just the one in play still.
Too soon.
Both teams with lots of time on the clock, and with the way that we're playing the 9th end, there won't be any issues with that coming home.
I know she wants to nose it.
Whoa! I want to stay right here. Yep. Good.
On the money there, no misses. Over on sheet D, 9th end. Sherry Madav. with an 8-6 advantage on Sherry Fraser. And Maddah has a chance for 3 if she could make this. We've seen a lot of 3s today. So if she can stay, there's 3. If not, no. So a deuce. And it's 10-6.
Pretty comfortable lead for Sherry and her team coming home after a very slow start to the week. They're starting to play better and better with each progressive game.
And they got it.
Roll into the house.
Right over there, sit.
Nice shot. That's what you want.
Good sweep it.
We're going to come back, Caddy, to this discussion we had at the beginning of this end. Like, one thing I don't agree, like, you got to go play, call the game to have the hammer in the last end. Even, I know you got to be careful not to give a deuce, but let's put it that way. Like,
Oh, yeah.
was it worse being tie game without the hammer, playing the last game, the last 10, or being down 2 with the hammer?
Don't disagree with you, but with the game plans that we have seen for Kelley's, it's pretty obvious what she's doing.
They haven't scored 2 yet. I'll do it.
Just trying to listen to Julie for a second. But for Colleen Jones, we have seen her approach to this game over the years, and one thing that hasn't changed, there's some numbers for Colleen, really struggling with the draw category. Not that strong on hits either. These aren't great numbers for Colleen. It's the draws. If you think back in the game when she gave up that 3 points, she ticked the guard. That was a really tough miss. But with Colleen, she's very comfortable with the 4-rock rule, not having last rock coming home. So whereas your comfort zone is with it and my comfort zone would be with last rock, Colleen has demonstrated through the years that she doesn't really care if she doesn't have last rock, and that's why she's not forcing it.
It's good there, eh?
Because I would think that most of the team would have played that night in making sure someone scored. So you got to force the issue a bit. If it comes to worse, give a deuce. Still coming back with the hammer 2 down. It's not a great situation, but I don't think coming back home without the hammer is a good situation either, even though you play a 4-rock free guard zone, as you mentioned. But I guess it's a question how you feel about it. And
with the 4-guard rule, you know there will be rocks in play. It's not like someone's going to run you out. Although you're also right, Guy, if there is a little bit of a miscue, puts tons of pressure on Nancy Delahunt to make sure that rocks of hers are in front of the house next end.
Kelley Law has the hammer. This is her first delivery of the 9th end, all even at 4. Law would like to hang on to the hammer for the trip home on 10.
Clean. Shot, Kelley.
Sticks that.
Thanks.
Ridgway has the lead on Fowley. 6-5. Fowley has the hammer.
throwing a tap here.
I think Heather Fowley looking for the tap back. So this for the tie. Coming home in 10.
Good enough.
And yes, it is. 6-6.
Starting to curl there.
Yeah. Basically had no shot for two, so it was just a tap to the forefoot, but it seemed to overcurl a bit on her, get her nervous.
Rightly or wrongly, Colleen went into this end with no intent to go hard at Kelley Law. Wanted to make her make a shot to blank. Needs to stick if that's going to be part of her plan.
Final stone for Jones. Oh. And she rolls it out, so
I really don't want to throw that
wasn't the plan. So I think Colleen is actually running out of rocks. She's discarded the 8 now.
Yeah,
what's left? Guy, have you been keeping track?
1 and 2. 1 and 2.
She played that all in, like to force Kelley Law to hit and stick on the last stone and get the hammer back, and she rolled out. That's really a bad rollout. She seems to blame the stone a bit, which is maybe true. She mentioned at the beginning of the game she didn't want to play with 7 and 8. She's back with 7 and 8. I think she's going to get rid of it now. So, like Caddy said, she's going to be stuck with 1 and 2.
It's unlike a Skip to have that kind of indecision, right, Guy?
Oh, yeah, it's happened often. I used to play with a guy who never throws 5 and 6 all year long. So.
Just hated 5 and 6. They're unlucky numbers. We're coming home in our feature match this morning. 2 world champions head-to-head here at the Canadian Curling Trials. Kelley Law and Colleen Jones, even at 4. Welcome back. They're shaking hands Sherry Fraser and Sherry Mada. Another battle of the Sherrys won by Mada, who moves to 4-3 and stays in the hunt. Marie-France Larouche, an opportunity for her first victory. 9-5 is the score, playing 10 against Kathy King.
Here's a key shot. This rock has to be in front. Anywhere in front. You talked about it, Kathy. The pressure's on the lead for the first 2 rock.
It is for sure. Colleen played to be in this situation. She's got what she wanted.
Looks pretty good.
Kelley Law has the hammer coming home in a tie game at 4.
There's a couple of choices here for Kelley. She could decide, as it seems to be the case, to go in the house, go in first, or she could try the tick shot, as we call it, to the front, try to push this yellow off the center of the ice. Got to keep it in play because it's in the 4-rock free guard zone, but you're allowed to move it either in the house or on the side of the sheet to open the front foot. She decided to go in.
Diane having some struggles this morning. You may have been able to see that she just switched some rocks around herself. We're hearing about a lot of that this morning. Be interesting to see when Colleen does throw, which pair she does throw.
Diane Nelson, the lead among leads coming into this morning at 92%.
We're there. Lots.
Okay, room.
It's coming down.
Whoa, then. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa.
It's coming down. Gotta make it good. Yep, hard, hard, hard.
Nice looking shot.
Yeah, nice. Coming around
That's a good shot,
nicely.
Very nice shot. Best way to guard against the 4-guard zone is to get in there first.
Okay.
Where is she, Colleen?
Both teams at 4 and 2, so the importance of the game is easy to see.
Do you like that?
I like Nancy's call way better. Colleen does not have last rock. Her call that you just saw, her first inclination was to come in. That's not the good call. The good call is if you're going to steal points and you've got a 4-guard zone that you can use it. Nancy, as we talked about before, calls much of the game and is sort of a strategist on the team and said, how about another guard? That's the decision and the right one.
Because you go in the 4-foot, no matter how good you make that shot, like Kelley's going to go after the guard in front.
Sure. Just want to have some separation here. Don't want to allow the double.
Is that enough?
That's good.
Yep.
Good call by Nancy. There's the roar.
Yeah.
Which one do you like? I like the top one. You like to get
Marie-France Larouche gets her first win in Regina. We talked about it earlier. The team was close in a couple of games in the early going, but finally a victory, and that's well appreciated by the fans here at the Agrodome.
So, you know what?
Enfin, victoire pour le Québec, John.
There we go. 2 to go. Make a run now. 2 games remaining.
Other way! Yes! Other way!
Trying a double kill here.
Diane Nelson's second shot.
Whoa!
Hammer belongs to Law here in the 10th.
Just wants to move those rocks around.
Well, it's not bad.
In a tie game.
That's true. There's 4-rock figures on. They can kill those ones. That's why I'm sitting here and they're playing.
Wait, there are many reasons.
Yeah.
Too bad we're the 10-10. We won't have time to name all of them.
Just kind of sitting there. What do you think?
Well, we've got all day tomorrow.
Still not going to be enough.
Colleen's going to use her timeout. We'll hear the discussion. Listen for the lead by Nancy Delahunt.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you like?
Red one.
No, we'd like to get rid of it too. Just sort of tap it back at 4 or back 8 and just sort of sit right there or shimmy in.
What about if we would just put it back 4?
No, I don't really like back 4. We got guards.
Because then we won't be shot.
Well, I don't think these shots are going to win it for us. I just want to get rid of it so that.
But if we do that, she's double peeling.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
You know,
yes, and then we're going guard again.
Right.
We're still working on our guard.
But then wouldn't leaving it there be our friend?
I don't find it my friend one bit.
Leaving it back.
Leaving it back. Oh,
back 4, back 8.
I don't want to be that far back.
Because it's jammable too, eh, Colleen?
I know it's jammable.
And say they do double peel, they do have something back there. They can't take everything away, you know. And like say I'm thinking the double peel, then keep it clean the whole end. You'd have something to freeze to.
Yeah. No, I know that. I kind of think I'm gonna have a guard and a.
But you might not. That's what I'm saying.
Where do you want to push it to then? Do you want to push it all the way out or just back
I thought you could push it right out.
I like keeping it.
All right.
You know, just make sure you push it back 8.
Well, I think one of those rocks is going to stay there with the double peel, and that's what changes this for me.
But it may not. That's the thing, you know.
Well, I think just looking at where the rocks are, I think I'm going to have a guard up.
But you know what? You could you can double peel that and get that way over to the 12 with firm.
Double peel's jamming on the red the way it is. It'll go high. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
What are you thinking?
Well, I think we're gonna. I think I'm gonna get another guard up there.
But it's certainly
So how
not
does
going to
that
hurt to
change
have that
having that
rock
back
back
in?
8 is not going to hurt us ever.
Yeah, you know how it's
Oh,
always
a little saver
bending.
tide coming home could.
Well,
could
true.
hurt
Like
ya.
we could sit 2 here, you know, by doing that. So you go with your gut. It's also what you know the ice for too,
I know
because
the
we
ice.
want
I
to.
know the ice for everything, but I kind of think just nosing right there is going to be perfect. And I'll tell you another thing is that even if she makes a double peel, and even if they wind up peeling out the end,
Yeah.
then I'm popping that back to sit 2.
Yeah. Sit 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I don't like the saver. I don't like
Yeah.
the saver.
Okay.
You heard it.
It's true though. I mean, if we sit there and if they make the double peel, we throw the guards. We're tapping back to sit 3 in our last shot. It's
All
a
right.
plan.
No discussion that this is the rock they want to move. The discussion was, Nancy, you heard her very dominant in that discussion, trying to suggest to Colleen, and I'm with her here, folks, that tapping this rock to the back of the 8-foot is their friend. Keeping it in the house can only help them. Colleen didn't like it, wants it gone.
Marianne Way working it all the way.
One of the nose.
Good shot.
A bit of a roll. It's what Colleen was comfortable with.
So Jones sitting 2.
They also knew that for Kelley, what she would immediately do is go up there and try to double peel, which is what they're doing.
3/4. What kind of weight does she want you to throw, George? Peel? Ask her.
Over on sheet E. Ridgeway red. Folly is yellow. Even at 6.
That's for the win, guys, and it's really interesting. She had 2 options. Basically, she could decide to draw, and she need full 8 and the even better piece of the 4-foot. She decided to hit this one.
Curl. Good shot.
See in the top corner of your screen, Georgina just removing one of the guards.
Good shot.
Now Ridgeway is ready.
Shot.
I guess how you feel comfortable. I guess you feel more confident throwing that hit here. She just need a piece of the yellow stone to win.
Clean.
One team goes to 4 and 3. The winner goes to 5 and 2 on sheet E. And the winner will be Ridgeway. 7-6 win over Folly. Folly not out of it, but Ridgeway moves up with the 8-6 win.
That's a huge win for Ridgeway.
5 and 2 for Ridgeway now.
Just draw weight.
Colleen's got the rocks in the house that she's comfortable with. Hard to get it by.
They tap that yellow stone just a bit. Well, with backing there at the front. Jones sitting 3 with a guard out front.
How much can you see?
The line wasn't bad. They tried to tap that yellow in the 4-foot. It just
What about this?
down on the weight a bit
3/4
and
back.
give a chance to
George,
Kelley
go
to
look
hit
at
it.
We have tons of time.
Guard would have been another good option.
Yeah.
All you need is one to win.
You know what I mean? You get them all, and you roll off. Then they got one over here in the wing. That's it.
Well, the other thing we can do is slam back the guard.
On the intern side.
Yeah,
that's
on
what
the
I
intern
like.
side, and then maybe we'll get something. I think we got to do that.
Well, even if you end up peeling
Can't
it,
see enough.
even if you end up peeling it, what bump does she have?
Yeah.
She's got a bump to the open.
Let's try to make this good because you
Yes.
can get 2 shots out of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let's not leave it up
No.
there.
No.
No.
So-
No. All you need is 3/4. You can even get the back one.
With peel weight?
Yeah.
With peel weight, George.
She gets really fortunate. May even clip this one on the way by.
Georgina's coming up, making sure that they make sure that the shooters roll over.
We're in the 10th, even at 4.
It's all right to try something, but the main thing is to remove the guard.
Yeah, the worst case scenario for sure is a nose hit, and there's still 2 Colleen Jones rocks in the house on the guard. The guard is the worst thing that Kelley has to deal with right now.
Georgina Wheatcroft for Kelley Lobb. And lots behind this. Cleans house.
Awesome.
That was the shot that Wheatcroft really wanted to play, and she nails it.
She's a happy cat with that, and so she should be, because she makes this even better than great, because she hits this just 3/4 on the outside, drives it back, removes
George.
those 2 stones, and what you can't see, but what also happens, is that her shooter
that big one will
rolls
pay off
right
eventually.
away to the corner.
So that was the shot she was talking about. We heard her in the background saying, well, let's just get rid of everything out there. And she made the shot.
Yeah, you can make it better than that.
So for Colleen, back to throwing guards again. Needs to steal in this end. What a great shot by Georgina.
They gotta keep their focus. It's a good shot by the opponent, but they're still not a bad shape. If
Well, it's not over by a long shot.
no. Because even if Kelley's team keep peeling those guard, at one point she'll have to throw against 2.
Julie Skinner with 2 stones still to come for Kelley Lobb, plus skips rocks for both teams, of course.
Roll it, George. Right over, right over. Catch that one.
And they roll it.
Okay.
Almost got really fortunate and clipped that back yellow one on the way through. But her mission was the peel, and that's what she's done.
We didn't need to catch that back one anyways.
Well, it might have helped. Would have been nice. Made it a little easier sliding home.
It's a little more.
One more guard.
Nice shot, Kim.
And with only skips rocks to come for Jones, Julie Skinner ready to fire her last one.
Whoa. Whoa. Clean.
Both thirds had the same shots twice. Kim to throw guards, Julie to peel. They're perfect so far.
We get something there.
Okay.
And a cluster of red stones out in front. To the right there, 1 yellow stone in the 8th belonging to Jones. She has 2 shots remaining. The hammer belongs to Kelley Lobb. Critical stage, obviously. 2 teams at 4 and 2. The loser definitely still in the hunt with 4 wins. However, 5 wins makes it a little easier. Anderson and Holland at 5-5. Sherry Anderson leading the way here with 5 wins in a row and a 5-1 record. Young Amber Holland from Regina has given her all she can handle today.
She's got a shot to win here.
Well, and Amber's one of the teams in the field that could just as easily be right up there with Sherry Anderson. Lost some really tough games on extra ends and last rocks, and made some great shots.
Need a piece of the red here for the win.
Okay. Just
For the-
4 foot.
From the
Not
Kelley
moving
Curling
much.
Club in
Not
Regina.
moving much. Easy. Where
Amber
you going?
Holland's final stone for a win.
Whoa.
which would be her third
Nice shot,
so
Colleen.
far this week.
Looks good enough.
So that ends the win streak for Sherry Anderson. And that brings her back with the pack, too.
So we can pretty much
5 wins and 2 losses. And Michelle Ridgway is already there at that point. The winner of our game here will go to 5 and 2. Loser drops back to 4 and 3.
Nice shot, George.
Amber Holland made a few friends this morning by beating the leading team.
Hey, guys.
Saw Colleen throw that center guard. For Kelley, the same plan as she asked for Julie is to peel this. And then it will be decision time a little bit for Colleen, where she wants to put the other stone and what she wants Kelley Law to have to do. She's going to beat her.
She's trying to peel here, but she wouldn't mind clipping the yellow in the house in the process.
Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa.
Kelley Law's first stone here in 10. And misses the clip job in there. So final stone coming for Colleen Jones.
Good shot, Kelley.
We're
Thanks.
all even at 4 coming home. 2 rocks to play. Yellowstone belongs to Jones.
Well, she's probably going to go top 8.
In the 8.
Right?
What would Kelley most like to play with her last stone
We'll
here?
see what we get, right?
Yeah. Well, for Colleen, here's where she wants to be. That makes it really tough then
just looking
for
at
Kelley
that.
to go way out there to get into the 4-foot. Nancy having a bit of a discussion with her now.
Or that.
Yeah, she could go as deep as half a rock in the 4-foot, because where she want to be is a spot where Kelley will hit it, the shot that is coming, and the yellow the back still be shot. That's why she's can't afford to go too deep. But on the other hand, you want to go deep enough so one allowed to Kelley just to hit the Yellowstone on the back of the tee for the win.
Lots of time for Kelley Law to make the decision about whether she'll play the draw or whether she'll play the hit.
Final stone, Colleen
No more
Jones.
than a bite of the 4.
Trying to steal.
Looks great.
To force
Just
an
a bite
extra
of the
end or
4
get
foot.
very fortunate.
A bite of the 4-foot. Stay close.
They like the line
Come
so
on,
far.
bite the 4. Whatever you think, guys.
count
Bite the
2
4.
here.
You gotta go.
Taking it
Oh, they left it too long.
too late on the sweep. So that leaves a fairly wide open draw.
I wondered coming that other way, and anyway, you threw beautiful, Colleen. Beautiful.
The front end might have been caught here by the fudging a bit in the sliding pad. We talk about it often during curling, that by the late ends, the sliding pad tends to be flat a bit, so the stone stop a bit faster than they were at the beginning of the game. And
It's an interesting choice of a call.
Tiny bit more. Okay.
She's playing this rock
guys.
right here, folks, and I can tell you that maybe the fact that she's only at 61%
On the draw?
with her draws
Yeah.
has dictated the shot selection for Kelley Law.
only that, like, you don't like what you just seen from Colleen because the sweeper.
97%, sorry, Guy, 97% on her hits. This woman has been almost perfect today.
Please.
So play the hit.
Yep. Whoa. Whoa.
Keep the shooter around and win the game. That's the plan for Kelley Law with her final stone. Do they have it? Do they have it?
Great shot.
Hit and stay. Pressure shot one more time for the team from British Columbia and the Royal City Curling Club
Thanks,
in New
Diane. Nice
Westminster. Another big win for Kelley Law.
This one curled a bit more than expected right from the start. They see clean. Suddenly they start sweeping this one really, really hard and just hanging there on the side of the house.
Obviously the right call, Kathy. Hit and hang around. Law wins at 5-4. The Canadian curling trials continue from the Agrodome in Regina. Kelley Law comes up the winner over Colleen Jones.
The 2001 Canadian Curling Trials on TSN are brought to you by the all-new 2002 Toyota RAV4. You belong outside.
Well, the fun's just beginning here as we look at the standings after draw number 7 in the women's division. Three-way tie for the top, 5-2, 5-2, 5-2. Anderson, Law, and Ridgway.
Yeah, it's a real logjam at the top of the standing, but you can look at those teams at 3 losses. They're all in the heat right now, so I think almost everybody's still in the hunt for a spot in the playoff.
3 of them at 4-3 as well after victories this morning.
Some big wins this morning. Amber Holland got herself back into contention with that win.
At 2:30 Eastern Time, we'll move to the men's draw. Russ Howard at 5-1 among the leaders. Team Martin moving in. Kevin Martin now at 4-2. That'll be a great match, Keith.
Yeah, of course, like two of the favorite coming up this year, and they're both playing fairly good so far this week, so it's going to be a real good game.
And I really loved our game this morning, Kathy. These two world champions really put on a show.
They did indeed. They showed us that they could do it all, and what a great finale.
Came down to one final shot for Kelley Law, and a 1-point victory as Law stays near the top, and Colleen Jones is just 1 win behind. This has been a presentation of TSN, Canada's sports leader.